According to Leanie, coffee's king. Cigs in hand, she does her thing. Maggie's got the jokes we know. Together we are ready for the show. Chats on fire, the crowd goes wild. Maggie's quips just drive me wild. Leanie's love for Java steams. We're living out our crazy dreams. On According to Leanie, life's no lie. Sip that coffee, watch time fly. With Maggie by her side, it's clear the best damn show around is here. Subscriptions climbing, views so high. Leanie's truth, it makes us cry. Maggie's got that wit so quick. We tune in daily for our fix. Community that stands so strong. Laughing, chatting all day long. From sunrise to the longest nights. Leanie's tales put out our lights. On According to Leanie, life's no joke. Spark that cig and take a toke. With Maggie by her side, it's clear the best damn show around is here. Subscriptions climbing, views so high. Leanie's truth, it makes us cry. With Maggie by her side, it's clear the best damn show is always near. On According to Leanie, life's no loud. Maggie's quips just drive me wild. Leanie's love for Java steams. We're living out our crazy dreams. On According to Leanie, life's no lie. Sip that coffee, watch time fly. With Maggie by her side, it's clear the best damn show around is here. Best damn show is always here. The best damn show is always near. According to Leanie, coffee's king. Cigs in hand, she does her thing. Maggie's got the jokes we know. Together we are ready for the show. Chats on fire, the crowd goes wild. Maggie's quips just drive me wild. Leanie's love for Java steams. We're living out our crazy dreams. On According to Leanie, life's no lie. Sip that coffee, watch time fly. With Maggie by her side, it's clear the best damn show around is here. Subscriptions climbing, views so high. Leanie's truth, it makes us cry. Maggie's got that wit so quick. We tune in daily for our fix. Community that stands so strong. Laughing, chatting all day long. From sunrise to the longest nights. Leanie's tales put out our lights. On According to Leanie, life's no joke. Spark that cig and take a toke. With Maggie by her side, it's clear the best damn show around is here. Subscriptions climbing, views so high. Leanie's truth, it makes us cry. With Maggie by her side, it's clear the best damn show is always near. On According to Leanie, life's no loud. Maggie's quips just drive me wild. Leanie's love for Java steams. We're living out our crazy dreams. On According to Leanie, life's no lie. Sip that coffee, watch time fly. With Maggie by her side, it's clear the best damn show around is here. Best damn show is always here. The best damn show
Hello,
Hello.
hello, 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 hello.
Lily said, hello.
Hello. How are you, Maggie?
I'm fine. I bolstered up this afternoon though, Lee. I
What
set the
happened?
wrong I said I set the wrong time and lunch lady phoned me to tell me. And I was having I was having technical issues with the Wi-Fi. So but it's all good anyway. I've done a little live, 5 or 10 minutes just to explain.
You did alive?
I did a little live, yeah.
How's the weather over there? You've been running the streets, girl.
Well, no, Gail, because it's been that hot. I haven't been able to take Jessie out at all. Been 31. Um,
Oh,
27 days on really hot. So today it cooled down. So I got it out straight away. So I was made up.
you were made up. We're made up for you.
I'm made up for you as well.
I'm over here starting my coffee because I'm late. Can you say hello to everybody in chat?
Let's
Hi,
have a
everybody in
look.
chat. Maggie will
Let's
do that.
see. Let Leanie have a swig of her coffee. She's catching a tail, guys. She's running round in circles. She's up the wall.
Oh,
So we've
you
got
have no
lunch.
idea.
Oh, well, Gail, I don't want to know. It must be horrendous for you. So we've got lunch lady in the house. We've got Shadow Scout Swede, which she spoke to this afternoon. Lunch, she was feeding the kids, but she was listening in. We've got RJB in the house. Let's see who else. Digital Mania. Good to see you, love. We've got the one and only, our Sean.
Oh, Sean.
We've got Lizzo. We've got
Yes,
April
no.
P.
April.
We've got all the usual, Gail. Joni.
Joni, hey girl,
Joni's
hey.
here. And that's it for now.
That's it. That's enough. I
That's
mean,
enough. Don't need any more. We've got a full
we
house.
we got a party going on here.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. If they were all in my house now, my house is going to be
Ramo, what does that mean?
rammed,
Oh, like too many
rammed,
people there,
packed. Yeah,
packed
ram
full, like
So I go,
sardines.
oh, lineage ram
Oh, it's Ramo.
Yeah, like when we go to Costco, it's ram
Lunch lady. Let me just say hi to those that I didn't call out really quick. Lunch lady. I don't know. So some of these were here whenever we messed up the time. Okay. Well,
this
hopefully they'll come
afternoon.
back. Lunch Lady and Jay Badass. That's what it looks like I missed. I think the other ones haven't come back in yet, but that's all right. Oh, mercy. It's Ramo.
It's
It's
Ramo Gale.
Ramo. Oh my
So what have
gosh.
you been up to, Lee? If you know, give us a little, let's hear.
Well, it's just been crazy. I'm just going to give you a quick update really quick, and then we're going to go on with this Coburger thing because this is what I've decided after, I don't know what time it was, probably about 12:30. I said self, I said Leanie, and then I recognized my voice and I was like, yes. And then I said, looky here, girl, this is what we're doing. Everybody can fuck off. You do you. When somebody asks you to do something, then go do it for them. Until then, like check out. Check just it is I'm giving you permission to check out of this situation. And I was
We're
like,
laughing at you.
right on, girl. I was like, right, we're on the same. I mean, it's so good when all the personalities come together and they're
That's
just
it.
like, we're out of here. We're done. We're done. Nobody's listening. What
You
else
thrown
is new?
your trainers on, you thrown your little trainers on and your sketches and you liked it.
I'm done. Maggie, I'm done. Um,
She's done.
I'm done. And when I tell you guys I'm done, you can bet I'm done.
I can't see
L-
it, Sean. Do you ladies love my new
let's
avatar?
pull it up and see what we can see. Yeah, Sean, you're hot
Oh,
completely. Completely.
my
April, it
God.
is like we're all the same person. It's so good.
Don't encourage it. Don't encourage it, April.
Listen, the last thing I heard today is So everybody knows my father-in-law, well, maybe you don't know. I don't know. My father-in-law ended up in the hospital on Saturday. I've been up at the hospital like not so crazy. And it's just a big, big thing. And gosh, I got to text Miss Barbara and let her know that we're live. But anyways, it's just a big thing. And yesterday,
Spoke to Barbara this afternoon, you know.
oh, you
And
did?
so, yeah, I just said I wasn't sure to everyone whether the live was going to go ahead. I hadn't heard from you. So, just keep watching in case. So
Okay.
she was in this afternoon.
Oh, good. All right. So yesterday it came back that the mass in his colon is cancer. So then
Oh,
they took him down for a CT scan. They told us of the lungs. And they ended up doing his lungs, his abdomen, and his pelvic area, and nothing is spread. It's all clear. Thank
oh,
God.
thank God.
So they're scheduling him
Thank
for
God.
surgery, but what's weird is they're scheduling for surgery a month out. I don't understand it. Like I said, Leanie checked out. I'm checked out, guys.
Well, maybe
So
they're not rushing it, Lee, because it hasn't spread and everything's okay.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think?
I don't know. Maggie, I checked out. I don't think anything. I think, okay, that's great. Let me know when you guys need me. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, you turned off.
Yeah, I turned it off. I'm when I'm out, when I check out on you, I check out on you. It's bad. It's hard to pull me back.
Flick the switch.
So, anyways, they were moving him to a rehab facility today, and that's all I know. And that's all I need to know. I'm like, y'all keep your own business to yourself. Just like me and Beefcake, we don't listen. I could be at the hospital for 5 hours. Beefcake would never know. Why? Because we don't get in each other's business like this. So I'm like, wait a second. I don't even get in my own husband's business. Why the hell am I in all these other people's business? Y'all figure this shit out. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I checked out. Um, I don't need people adding to my crazy. I
Well,
got
you
my
have
own
your
crazy.
coffee, girl.
I had my coffee again. Got my own crazy to deal with. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Maggie and I are going to wait just 1 minute because I know there are people that forgot to hit the like. So double tap the screen or jump down there and hit the thumbs up. We'll wait.
I haven't. I never do. I always
Well,
forget. I will
then I'm
listen
waiting
when I
on
come out.
I'm
But,
waiting on you too. I'm just waiting. Just sitting here
well,
waiting.
I'll have to hang on then. Let me go out there and
Mm-hmm.
do it on
Mm-hmm.
here. Hold on. You've got to keep it happy. Hold on.
Keep a girl happy. I don't ask for
Oh,
much. I
God.
ask for the like. That's it. Anyways, all right. So back to this. Thank you, April. Big hugs to you, girlfriend. Jay Brad says she hit it 7 hours ago. Y'all, I got so much opened. I've got so much open. I've got. Shut up, Maggie. I don't know what Maggie did. She probably hit the
What?
like and then unliked it. I don't know. But
I've hissed. No, I hiss it.
you hit it. I
I hiss it. I never unhiss it.
you never unhit it. I've got a lot of stuff opened up. I took notes after notes after notes. If y'all saw my handwriting, you'd be like, oh geez, Louise, girl, we got to send you back to school. But really I write pretty decently,
Doctor.
but I just started like having to stop the video and because Maggie, you got to see the Dateline before I did, which I don't know how that happened, but
I know.
shit
Couldn't get over it.
happens.
My nerves were gone.
And yeah, and
Yeah,
you
but
were
you were running back
just,
and forwards, weren't you?
yeah, but you
I
were
couldn't
just,
get over
I
it.
didn't expect you were going to get to see it that quick, but you did. And I'm so glad because you were like, oh, Leanie,
I know.
because it was
I couldn't
so,
get
did
over it.
everybody get to watch it and chat? Have you guys found it? Have you watched it? Oh my God. There was
I
so
knew
much stuff
JB
in it.
as I told her. I was telling the Americans what side it was on.
Isn't that bad? Well, it's because most of us Americans have just turned off regular TV. We don't pay for it anymore. We just stream
I had
everything.
Alec up the wall. Oh, you've got to get me. You've got to get me near crying.
I'm telling you, if you have not watched it, it's out there. my baby, which I was going to also have, Maggie's husband help me download it. And then baby
Oh,
child was
didn't
here and
baby
he heard
child?
me
Yeah.
talking to Beefcake about getting on with Honey, and so they could download it for me to watch because Maggie had already seen it. And then baby child picked up my new iPad and he's like, got it, Mom. And I was like, oh my God, right on. So
Hang on,
I
did
I
you say
s-
you haven't seen it?
no, I did see it. I did see it.
Oh,
I went and looked on
oh,
Peacock, JB. I couldn't even find it on Peacock to watch earlier today. I ended up finding it. I don't even know
that's where
where.
JBC. Yeah.
I think I found it on
Oh my
YouTube.
God, you've only watched it today.
No, I watched it the other day. After
Oh,
everything
you can
settled
see
down,
Maggie hit
you can see
JB what?
Maggie hit that
You can
twice.
see you can see Maggie hit that twice.
No, say me, amiga. I bought an iPad last summer and
I
haven't
don't know what
used
you
it. Lunch lady, I've done a little bit of stuff on it, but it is so hard. It's so hard to use. Anyways, when you get a chance, Keith Morrison talks kind of slow anyways. I watched it on 1.5 because he talks slow anyways, and so I was able to understand everything. And then I kind of watched it over the last couple days, like just pieces here and there. Like, did I hear that right? Did I hear this right? Did I, and then I was like, damn, I got to start making some notes. So then I started making notes. And if you haven't been able to watch it, very informative, very, very informative. And I'm
Yeah.
just going to say it. I don't care who hates me. Um, if after everything that has come out so far, just so far, and I believe there's a shit ton more, y'all. Um, if you are doubting in any way that Brian Koberger does not have a role, at least in these murders, I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't think you'd believe it if you saw it actually on a videotape. I think you would say AI. I'm telling you, there were people, if they actually saw the murders happening on a video, they would swear up and down it was AI.
I think some people are just so closed off to it once they've decided, and that's
Yeah,
it.
and I was talking to JB the other day about it, and she said something that I thought was just the smartest thing I have heard in so long, because we were talking about different things and conspiracies and stuff. And she said some people are just want to be on the opposite side of the room, no matter how much evidence, like in black and white or in
Yeah.
red blood, they want to be on the other side of the room. And I thought that's so freaking profound because it's
Yeah,
so true.
it
It's
is.
so true. I and can we just be honest? There are people who have clearly made their channels grow by being a pro burger.
Yeah.
They really have. They're making up shit. They're twisting words. They're undoing things. They're opening things that don't even exist. And believe it or not, their channels have grown just from being a pro burger. And I never understand it. Drives you crazy too, April. It makes me nuts. It really just makes me nuts. And those people, those kind of people, it's all black and white, right? And they're not willing to see um anything else. It doesn't matter what evidence you come with. It matters not. Everything is a conspiracy. It didn't happen, or it's not Brian Koberger, or they're going to believe a cartel went into Idaho, no less, more than they would believe that these students were actually killed by a random killing. It just mind boggles me. Oh, my robots were programmed to do it. Yeah, that's what it was. It's all a government conspiracy, guys. These 4 students knew something about the government they shouldn't have known, and we just sent them right on in. I don't know. It's just so disgusting. So disgusting. Well, I pulled up a couple of things. I'm trying to decide which way to go with it first because let's do this because I usually I have my shit together, but my brain has been racked until I had a discussion with myself. And I wasn't even in the mirror. It just came to me. It was just like, hey, Leanie. I was like, hey, I know you. But anyways, until like 1:30 today, it was insane. All right. So the Dateline episode was released on May the 9th. Keith, I have to tell you guys, I respect Keith Morrison. I respect his journalism. I do. And there's a lot of people out there I just don't feel like you can trust because they don't give a flying flip what they're reporting. They just they like to be salacious and edgy and all that. And I don't feel like Keith Morrison is that person. I feel like his voice draws people to him because I know all y'all love his voice just like I do. And then his gentleness, like you feel a comfort. I do. I feel a comfort in him. And he's a lot like me. If he's pissed off, it even get if you pissed him off or you're not believing the bullshit, like his voice still remains the same, and you have to read, his words as to what he's saying if he doesn't believe you and all. Now, I can do that for so long, and then and then Emily comes out of me, and I will cuss you up one side and down the other, and gets really ugly and really fast. So I respect him, and I'm sure he's made mistakes in his career. Hell, everybody has. But I think he tries to get it right. I was really impressed that he says that this started. He didn't just start this when everybody else started jumping on the Kohberger case. Because if you notice, a lot of people on YouTube that are covering Kohberger right now were not covering it at any point. They didn't talk about Kohberger whatsoever until we got this close to trial, right? When something big was moving along.
You said it'd all go off though, didn't you? Once it got closer, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah, and it's gonna keep doing that, I think, as well.
Well, now I hear that they want to know who's leaked all this.
Well, if you listen to what he says in the beginning, Keith Morrison said that they have been covering this. They've been following this case since the very beginning.
Yeah.
Meaning way before even the gag order was put up, right? So the gag order wasn't put up until I don't even remember when, guys. Don't even ask me, and I don't have it written down. But before that, he was already talking to students. He was already talking to not just him, his colleagues were talking to people that were acquaintances with his people. I'm sure even officers. And I mean, that was way before the gag order. He's been collecting all of the stuff that they knew way before the gag order. And here's the deal. The media is not gagged. He can put out whatever the hell
Yeah,
he
that's what he said.
he knows.
Yeah.
And also, you guys, the families are not gagged. The families are allowed to talk about what they know and what they heard and what they see and but
I thought he
Goncalves,
wouldn't.
no, Goncalves can put out what he wants to put out. There's just certain things that he won't put out because since he's had his lawyers explained to him, hey, you're gonna mess it up. Don't give that much away. Don't give this much away. So I will say that in the very beginning, if you guys listen to Keith Morrison in the very, very beginning, he tells you. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and let me play that one right now. Maggie, will you drop the banner for
Yes,
copyright? And
Yeah.
then some of the mods, or one of the mods, any mods drop our copyright disclaimer in here, because I am going to be using other people's stuff that I have found.
I'll give it a read now.
Let me see. This one is just a video. This is coming out of East Idaho News. Y'all, I love Nate. I do. I love him. I found him when Cavalcanti, when that was going on, and I loved his coverage of that. So after, of course, Keith Morrison has made some interviews. Some he did before, some he did after, and I think this one was after. This one is Keith Morrison reveals new insights, unseen video in Koberger case to be featured on Dateline. So this one is before Nate got an interview with him. So thank you, Nate. We're just going to use this. I'll stop it here and there, but I think it explains a little bit about how Keith Morrison came to getting some of his info. All right, can you guys see us big over there? Should I make it bigger?
Yeah.
Let's put it up full screen. Okay, there we go. Here we go, guys. Watch your volume.
The show tonight, Keith. What can we expect with Dateline?
Well, this is your friend Shane Bishop and I, but mostly Shane, has been working on this for a long time, since right back at the beginning, and has developed. Shane has a list of people who are on the inside and who are very good sources about what's happened here in Idaho. So we're familiar with a good deal of the evidence that the state will bring against Brian Koberger. His attorney is not speaking yet, but we have a lot of this material that the prosecution will rely on, I think, to try him. I don't know. I don't know. We can't say that we have it all, but we have a lot of it, and we can almost have a timeline of his movements and the movements of the killer, whether it was him or not, in the days, hours, minutes leading up to the murder and afterwards.
I'm going to stop it right there, because that's one thing that I did write down. Was I started writing the timeline that was shown on this on this new Dateline that Keith did. I had to keep rewinding and stopping so I could write down what all he's saying as quickly as I could do it. So I do think that the timeline fills in a lot of the missing pieces to a timeline that we had, and maybe closes it up just a little bit more.
You also have a couple of interviews from people that we haven't heard from before.
We have. I mean, we've heard from some of the people who met Brian Koberger early on, as soon as he moved to Pullman, Washington. And he went to a pool party, for example, and there was an incident at the pool party which was just kind of strange and unsettling for the people who were there. He worried a couple of the women who were by the pool wearing bikinis, and he was just a little leering. I think they tried to brush him off, and one of them tried to get her husband involved, but he just seemed not to be aware of social cues. So there was that, and then one of the other people there then ran into him later on a hike, and was puzzled by the fact that he was walking alone into the night when everybody else was getting out of this area that they were hiking in, because it was nighttime. And then we discover, of course, that he was somebody who loved the nighttime and was out at night all the time.
Interesting.
Walking around, looking around. Yeah.
Right. Well, that was, I think, one of the points his defense attorneys made early on, that he was out driving, looking at the stars at night, the night of the murders.
Yes, and there, and that might be an answer that satisfies. I don't know, but you have to have some comeback to the fact that it's glaringly obvious that he spent a great deal of time alone in the dark during his time there.
Tell me about this video that of a car that may have been his, or a car that looked similar to his, that you all have obtained.
Well, it's a car that the authorities believe was his, the white Elantra that we've heard so much about. You see the video. It's really quite remarkable video. It shows the period leading up to the murders, just before this car kind of approaches. And by the way, the camera is on a neighboring house. You can't quite see 1122 from this house, but you can see the movements of the car as it's heading down into this kind of controlled area where 1122 is. And it's going around and around. And every 3 minutes or so, the car will kind of come around and go away again, and then come back and then go away again, as if somebody is, casing the house or is trying.
I'm going to stop it right there, jump in chat really quick. Oh, Miss Barbara, hi, honey. Good to see you. AZ, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Liz, thank you so much for dropping those links. I appreciate it so much. This again is East Idaho news that we're watching, just because I wanted you guys to be able to see that this isn't something that they jumped on the bandwagon when things started heating up over in Idaho. They've been doing this for a while, and I believe that most of everything they've got came before the gag order. So it's good to see you all. Thank you all for being here. There was something I was going to say, Maggie, about the car.
Oh God!
I watched
so many times. Oh, sorry. Go on.
It's okay. I watched something. Maybe you did too, and I cannot remember what it was.
We think it said that he near hit someone.
Yes.
Is that what it was? Because it said it couldn't be seen. That couldn't be seen on the video. So whether that's going to be a witness, I heard, that's going to come forward at the speed he came around the corner and near hit them. I don't know.
Right. So they said that he nearly hit somebody when he came driving like a bat out of hell out of there. But this just goes to show you guys again. I don't remember who talked about it last time we were on here, Maggie, but we kind of all jumped on it. Listen, I'll be the first person to say, hanging out at nighttime, driving at nighttime, looking at the stars, does not make a killer. If that makes a killer, y'all, I'm guilty, because I live, since we have moved here and I quit working, I live most of my life in the dark. Not in the dark, but it's nighttime. Y'all know me. I'm in here painting. I'm cleaning out refrigerators. I'm vacuuming and washing carpets.
Straight lines on the rug,
straight lines, girl. Scrubbing my carpets and my floors. I do all kind of stuff at nighttime. I don't know why. I have no clue. It's just when I feel calm enough to do it. And I know.
Nice owl, aren't you? Your little nice owl.
Yeah, my mom was like that too, but I've always worked, so I was never, I couldn't.
Did you work night shifts, Lee?
When my kids were babies, so that I didn't have to have a babysitter. Yeah, and then I've always worked when my kids were in, and then when they went to school, I would work when they were in school, so that I never had to have a sitter. But so, that doesn't make a killer. But listen, even me, when I'm out there driving, and I don't do it as much anymore, but when my anxiety was really, really high and I was going through some stuff, I used to drive a lot at nighttime, and I never had a place I was going. So it was just get on the road and then drive until I'm starting to get tired, and okay, I can go home and relax now and probably get some sleep, kind of that thing. You know what I mean? I can guarantee you, people, I have never driven in the same place twice, except I purposely would go stalk, because this was when I was living in Oklahoma. I would go stalk straight out stock. Garth Brooks's house. Absolutely,
Oh my God,
100%.
you've been to Garth Brooks.
Yes, I was stalking his place like nobody's business. Okay.
God, did you get
Um,
pictures?
oh yeah, I got a lot of pictures. You know what pisses me off? As
Oh,
much as I stalk that man, everybody in my family has met him like in a grocery store. And me, I'm stalking him at his damn house and can't even see him. But everybody call me, hey, we just saw Garth, just met Garth. He's in the store right now. I go up there, Garth's fucking gone. Oh man, it just goes to show you nothing good happens when you're doing some evil deeds, y'all. I never got
oh,
to meet him. But anyways, that's back when Garth was lovable, but I won't go into that. Anyways, for me and just being out driving, there is no way I would allow myself to be caught up in an area that I knew I couldn't get through. It was just going to be a lot of turning and turning around and shit and getting back out. It would piss me off. It would. There's no way. It probably would add to my anxiety. So, to be fair, there were actual I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, Leonid meteor showers that night. But also, it was completely, I mean, there may have been meteor showers, AZ, but it was also cloudy that night
not
there. It
where
was
he
very,
was, yeah.
yeah, where he was at, it was very, very, very foggy all the way up until the early morning hours. So there's that. But I can deal with that, but I absolutely will, driving around to the same small location from my location, where there's only one way in and one way out, basically. I just, that wouldn't happen for me. It would probably give me more anxiety. There's a viral joke out there that Garth Brooks is a serial killer. Ha ha. He hates that joke. I'll just bet he does. Listen, my baby chow, when he was about 2 years old, used to tell everybody that Garth Brooks was his stepdaddy. That's because what I've always told him. And then Garth Brooks just went all kind of fucking crazy. And I was like, fuck you, dude. So I don't have nothing to do with him anymore. All right, let's finish this up with Keith. Oh, Keith. I'm on first name basis with Keith, y'all.
Trying to make up his mind about something. Certainly the authorities believe it was the killer. They are accusing Brian Kohlberger of being that person. But then what we see is the car pulls in to what would have to be 1122 King Road and disappears like it's parked. 13 minutes later, it reappears going hell-bent for leather around the corner and out of sight and isn't seen again. So the authorities are pretty convinced that this is a video of the killer in his car making up his mind. The 13 minutes where the car is not visible to the camera is when the murders are occurring. And then afterwards, you see the car drive away.
And we're going to see that tonight.
We will see it. Yes.
Wow. What's been the biggest thing that stuck out to you, Keith, as you've been preparing this episode versus previous reporting, which we've heard, and this story has been highly covered across the spectrum, but what's been your biggest takeaway or insight?
Well, that video is pretty extraordinary, and it tells you a lot. It also weighs pretty heavily as a piece of evidence, I think. A good deal of the evidence is circumstantial. There is the DNA on the knife sheath, but also a slight problem with that in that the FBI broke its own rules in order to be able to test that DNA with a familial DNA site that normally is not available to them. You have to sign a form saying you're okay with law enforcement looking into your DNA profile if you want to be on one of these sites. But the FBI went to a site where people do not sign that waiver, and it's a bigger site. They have, that gives them the opportunity to whittle down who the person would be that they're looking for, and it succeeded. But they're supposedly prevented by their own regulations from entering that website. Nevertheless, they did. So
Yeah.
we'll be able to use that too. But
Right. The defense has made some filings about that and whether
Sure.
they legally got it or obtained it. Another thing the defense has said recently is talking about Brian Koberger's autism diagnosis and his mental capabilities as far as one reason why they wanted to strike the death penalty off the table. Do you get
Mhm.
much into his mental state of mind or potential,
We
his
don't.
state of mind?
Yeah, not much more than I think you would be hard pressed to find a psychiatrist who's prepared to examine Goldberger over a television set, or just from the limited amount we know. The defense says he has autism, and perhaps that's so. I don't know. The suggestion was that he has OCD also, and that may have explained some of his behaviors. Yeah, the judge has already ruled that this doesn't really. It's not going to impact any possibility of a death penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be such a fascinating trial to watch here in just a couple of months. I know that all eyes are going to be on Boise as this goes. It could probably the longest trial in Idaho history, they're
Could
saying.
be. I mean, there are lots of issues that will have to be gone into in depth. Yeah.
Right. All right, Keith, tonight, Dateline, you can watch it. It starts at 9 o'clock Eastern and Pacific time. And for those of us in the middle of the
All right, we're back. Um, please make sure you're in all messages according to Leanie and Maggie. Well,
That's
I'm
in
on
what?
I'm on YouTube. No,
I'm
I'm
in
sorry. I'm not
StreamYard.
YouTube. We're on StreamYard, so we should already be in all messages.
Yeah, you don't see anything like that here anyway. It's
Yeah.
only on the phone, I think.
Hi, Caroline. Free him for what? What do you want him freed for?
Hiya, Caroline.
There are people that just go around and pop those into
Who wants
chat.
some
I
tea?
don't know. I don't know. Anyways, so these are just some things that I had begun to write down when I was trying to go through this Idaho, this new Dateline thing. So they do have new surveillance footage of the car. I'm sure you guys have already seen that. Here's the deal. It looks guilty as fuck because you're watching the video where he actually comes in, right? There's a couple of videos where he comes in past the house, like he's going to go around the back of the 1122 King Roadhouse, right? And he's just driving normally. It's just like, oh, let's just drive, probably listening to some Let's Get It On. No,
Yeah,
he's
just
not going
like
to listen to
chilling,
that.
just
Yeah,
driving
he's
around.
chilling. Maybe he's listening to some gangster rap. I
Mm.
don't know what he's listening
He
to.
was listening. He was listening to that. Who
He's
was
listening
it?
to Britney Spears. That's
Yeah,
what it
on
is.
slow, wasn't he? So he was probably
I'm
listening to
a
that.
killer, 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 killer.
I've never even heard of it.
God, I never even heard of it either. But anyways, when you guys hear it, it's slowed down actually. But it's just what? It's gross. Hello, Donnie does dishes, sweetheart. You criminal. That's the name of
Donnie,
the
can you not do
song.
the dishes next week? Can you
He
make
was
just what
listening
Donnie
to
does?
Bad Baby. bad boy, what you gonna do? I think he's listening to gangster rap. Maybe he's listening to classical music. Classical music wants me to slit my own wrist. I can't listen to.
I can't listen to classical music at
Yeah,
all.
I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
My smooth jazz is what Baby Child and Beefcake listen to. I'm just like, you guys. I've told them, I'm like, what's going on here? What's wrong with you people? Nobody listens to that. And they're like, it's just soothing. It just calms your mind when you're
My
going to
brother
sleep and
loves it.
shit.
I could listen to
And
it
I'm
till
like, it doesn't it don't calm me at all. It makes me have high anxiety. I was like, gangster rap isn't killing people. It's just not. It's that smooth jazz bullshit in there because I want to slip my wrist up and down, not sideways. I want to make sure I do it right. Anyways, I don't think maybe he's listening to that. I don't know. I just think he's trying to be a cool fuck. But anyways, so the thing about the car is he's just sliding on down the street in that car and then sliding on out in that car, sliding on down the street in the car and then sliding out in the car. And then all of a sudden, the last time you see the car making that turn, it's going like a bat out of hell and he almost hit somebody. Does that not scream, uh-oh, y'all, I just did something really bad back there.
Getting
I
out
got to
of there
get the
quick.
hell out of here.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the way I
he's
took
getting
it.
out.
And remember when they were doing when the crime scene people were on were there, they were taking prints of the tire mark on the road. Remember? We saw that. Do you guys remember I showed you guys
Yeah, when
that?
you showed us, yeah, where we thought
Mhm.
he was sitting by the bins as well. That was the night
Mhm.
he showed us that, yeah.
And the way he took that corner, he had to have left
Oh,
some tire
definitely.
marks.
Marks,
So
yeah.
I wonder if those were probably. AZ says, I can't handle reggae. I love me some reggae. I love it. Or the Grateful Dead. I can't do Grateful Dead. Miss Barbara says smooth jazz irritates the crap out of me. Me too, girl. Me too. All right.
Motown
So
for
here.
me all the way.
Oh, I love me some Motown too, girl. I
Oh,
got sunshine. Come on, Maggie.
on a
I got
cloud,
sunshine
on a
on a
cloudy
cloudy
day.
day.
I got
Ooh.
them. What?
Go ahead.
Got it.
You sing it. I'm just going to make my noises. Go ahead.
I guess
Ooh,
you say what
what
can
can
make me feel
feel
this
this,
way, my girl.
my girl,
Talking about my girl.
my girl?
I
Ooh,
got so much money. Now,
the
honey, the bees
honey,
envy me.
the bees envy her.
Honey and money. I don't know what's
All right,
what.
I got to stop because I'm getting all warm inside. All right,
See how
back to
we
this.
change.
All right. So y'all know 2 selfies were released. There was 2 or 4. Y'all, I don't know what kind of camera homeboy's using, but if he's not the killer, which he is, then somebody needs to buy him a phone that actually takes good pictures, which you won't have to because he's going to jail and he's going to the death penalty. Y'all had a terrible, his pictures are all grainy and shit. I'm telling
I
you.
thought the ones I've seen were clear.
No, that's somebody that cleaned them up. I've got the original ones that Dateline released, and they're grainy. The hell?
Shit camera. Mm. Let's have a
AZ
shit
said
phone then.
that Elantra took off like a witch in Bugs Bunny, crackling
Oh,
bobby pins flying everywhere.
well, we'd say it took off like shit off a shovel. Mm.
Just order a pizza lunch, lady. It's Coburger Wednesdays. I told Beefcake to stop at QT and pick up some hot dogs. So I got pictures of the pictures. They've got, like just Keith just said, and I'm on first name basis. I know Miss Barbara wants to be on. Next time I talk to Keith, Miss Barbara, I'm gonna give him your number. They've got interviews with acquaintances and people who used to work with him and people who known him from, the apartments on WSU. They talk about in the thing that it's very highly likely that Xana went upstairs during or after the murders of Maddie and Kaylee, and possibly she was the one that ran downstairs and he chased her, and then that's when it started in her room. Now I will say
So can I
this.
just say, so he
Please
was
jump
put on
in.
the banister, but didn't he say that didn't match anyone?
No, they didn't test it. And that
Oh,
blood
they
is not
didn't.
on that banister. That blood is on the banister going from the
That's
second
right. You
floor to
told
the
me that. You're
first.
right. Yeah.
Right. Now, it still could have been like somebody who saw the scene. Those kids, especially Hunter, he was in that scene.
Yeah.
I could see
Put me down.
Hunter turning Xana over. Remember, Xana was laying on her stomach, not on her side, not on her back. Xana was prone. That means on your stomach. He could
Yeah.
have turned her over, got blood on his hand, Therefore, when they're running down the stairs, you would have some blood there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else did we learn? We tightened up, I feel like, with the white Elantra, we tightened up some timeline details. He called his dad at least 2 times. I've heard one time he called her 3 times, and one that he called him 2 times, and he actually talked to his dad for the longest. I think it
Nearly
was
an hour. Yeah.
for 58 minutes or something like that. 2 hours after the murders. How do you call?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
But he says, is that usual? Does he normally do that? Or is he saying, this is in my brain, this is just me saying it. Is he saying, oh, I don't feel well, I've took the day off work, and, you know, because he took the day off, and that was what's supposed to have been the selfie, wasn't it? The thumbs up. Because he called in sick. So was he just sort of clearing himself there, saying he didn't feel well, and he took the day off, and his dad was like, probably,
Oh, that's smart though. It's really smart because it said that was the first time he had ever taken a day off.
well,
So was that part of his whole?
he didn't want to go in, did he? Because he wanted to go
No,
back
of
to
course
house and
not.
what?
Right,
He wanted to
right.
sit and watch the news. He was made up.
Mhm. Yeah. So that's just another thing to add. He's never taken a day off.
Day
How
off, yeah.
coincidental would Brian Kober had taken the day of the murders off?
And
Oh,
then be
wow.
seen there
Just-
at 9:15 or 9:30 in the morning.
Maggie, it's just coincidental, honey.
Of course it is. Loads of coincidentals.
Loads of them. The only way I would think that they would be able to prove that Xana went up there and he actually chased her down is a blood trail. In other words, Xana had to touch something in blood, stepped in something in blood. It was her footprint somewhere
That was there.
or
They found a
fingerprint
footprint,
on the
didn't they?
wall down. Who knows? They're gonna, I mean, to me, that's just speculation because if they don't have it, a footprint going up or a latent footprint going up, another footprint coming down, some kind of blood that would have come from Xana coming down. There's no proof. Now, you guys, I will tell you with my whole heart, I believe Dylan knows more. I
Well,
think
maybe she does, and we're going to find this out.
yeah. Did she, because remember Dylan said it sounded like Kaylee had come down the stairs with the dog. Was that really Xana and the perp coming down the stairs?
Could have
Did
been.
she, I mean, we don't know. Did she actually see him running after Xana? We don't know. But I'm telling you, there's a lot missing that we're going to find out. I think so. Lunch lady, honey, if you're tired, lay down. You could catch up on it.
Go to
Miss
sleep,
Barbara
girl.
says she doesn't think that she went up there. I don't see her going up there either. I just don't. What about BK changing his license plate? Right. So that happened I've got that all in my let me just finish this up and then we'll go on to talk about we learned that there was a past roommate who used to live there that was supposed to be there that morning. Or that night. The reason why she wasn't is because her parents were out of town and they didn't have anybody to keep the dog, so she had to
She
miss.
was made up, wasn't she?
Oh,
Oh.
I'm sure she was upset to begin with, and
Oh,
then
of
after
course.
everything
Well, can you
happened, it was
imagine?
like it was
Oh.
God. AZ says Xana would not have walked through blood, though. That's what I believe, AZ. There's really no scenario where Xana would step in Maddie Mogan's or Kaylee's blood. I agree with you on that. That's why I'm saying that something's got, you can't, I mean, that to me is just, unless they've got something like that happened, how do you prove that Xana went upstairs? It's not like he's going to say, oh, well, what really happened was, he's not going to tell us. The only way we're going to know is if Dylan actually saw more than what she's saying she saw. I believe she did. I've said from the very beginning, Maddie was the target.
He said it was said on there as well, wasn't it? There was actually, I don't know whether I've seen it on something else or was it Dateline, where he said there was a murder where it was a bloodbath and there wasn't a single drop of blood outside of the bedroom.
Oh, you guys, I have showed you guys many of those. I have pulled up where people have killed more than 2 or more people, and they
Yeah,
walked
well,
away
this
with
one, there was
no
2
blood.
people, and apparently it was a bloodbath in the room, but there wasn't a single drop of blood outside of the bedroom. So it
Yeah,
can be done, he said. Like, oh my God. But they
right.
reckon that he sat down on the chair, which I don't think he did. I think he fell back.
Yeah, I don't see him sitting. I just
I mean,
don't.
we
I
don't
think,
know, but I
and
think he was.
it may not even have been him, right?
No.
All they know is that there was something that looked like a butt print in blood in one of the chairs. So we don't know that either. All right, I'm going to go through my notes. If you guys will give me just a few minutes to run
Go
down
on, I'll have a look
the
at the
notes that
chat.
the notes that we have, um just as a reminder, and then adding in what we've learned just from the state line. So we know that he
That's what we've
moved.
just been saying, Liz. Sorry.
It's okay. No, keep
Sorry.
going.
Oh
That's
my
fine.
God. Sorry. No, I'm just saying that's what we've just been saying, Liz. What I heard, there was a terrible, like a murder, and the blood was all over the bedroom. It was a bloodbath. But outside the room, there wasn't a drop of blood.
Hmm.
And it happens, and it's been seen loads of times because you think, how did he get out with no blood on him?
Hmm.
But apparently it's can be done, and it has been done numerous times.
And
Oh,
Joni says,
Barbara hasn't
man,
been to bed.
oh God, Barbara,
Too many trials going on.
you just
I've
got to
been watching
record
that
them and go
titty.
back. Joni says, maybe Xana was the one who said, there's someone here. Maybe. I don't
She
know.
said it was a man's voice, didn't she? Didn't Dylan say it was a man's voice?
No,
She heard
she
a
said it
man.
was not a man's voice. She thinks it was Kaylee or
Oh,
someone else that said it. Yeah, it was not a man's voice.
so it could have been Xana then.
Hmm.
I always thought. Oh, see what I mean? I always
Yeah.
thought it was. She said it was a man's voice.
All right, let me run through some of these things. So on June, the month of June in 2022, we know he moved to Pullman. There was a pool party that he was invited to on July the 9th. Also and it is said that, I don't know by who or what or where they got it, but Keith Morrison did say that it is believed that none of the victims were at that pool party. Of course, this was at WSU, but we've since learned that WSU students and the Moscow students, they kind of interacted with each other, so there's that. um the first ping near the 1122 King Roadhouse is also on the day of the pool party, which would be July the 9th. Then Brian decides to go on a hike at night. Again, I'm not gonna, that's on him. I'm not gonna know whether that's weird or not weird, but he was going up the mountain or the hill, and the people that were on the DJ and some of the people he met at the pool party were coming down. And it says that he talked to them like they, were buddies, like, hey, how you guys
He
doing?
knew
It's
them
nice to see you.
very well. Yeah.
Right. And then they said they didn't recognize him. They didn't know him. So, and then let's keep going. August 22nd, he Googles Ted Bundy. On the same day that he did that, Maddie Mogan posted those pictures to Instagram. Those are the ones that you see of I think there's 5 girls in it, and they're outside the sliding glass door just having fun. It's not the day of the murders. And then August 21st, that's when he got ticketed for a seatbelt. I don't know, don't even remember where that was. August 26th is he looked up, when can cops detain you? In late August, he searched for forced, passed out, drugged, sleeping, tied ties to domination, all these things tied to domination. He was looking that stuff up along with pornography, or that type of pornography. I wasn't really clear if it was and pornography or that type of pornography. September the 10th, and you guys, we talked about this before, but we did not know her name until now. And I forgive me because I know I'm going to say it wrong, but Nyung Ko was the lady who worked with Brian Koberger, was a student with Brian Koberger, that actually told him that her shoot fire, that her apartment was broken into. Remember, and he helped her set up
the
the
camera.
cameras and stuff.
Mm.
Being such a good guy. That's right. It was seatbelt. He was ticketed for a seatbelt on the 21st. That's right. And then but what else she said, and I didn't know about this. I just had heard that she had called who she thought was a friend of hers and told him, somebody's been someone broke into my house. I'm freaked out. This is 2:00 in the morning. He's like, do you have any security cams? She says no. And he's like, look, we've got to get that done. He helped her do security cams. That's what we knew. But this is what we didn't know. Apparently she had burnt a cake she had made, and she set it on the back of the stove to cool so she could just throw it out whenever she got back home or whatever, right? That cake, while she was gone, was moved to the microwave and set inside of a microwave in her apartment. The other thing that she noticed whenever she went into her apartment and knew somebody had been in there, was all of her makeup that was usually up, I think they said on the counter or on the shelf, it was neatly arranged on the toilet. Y'all, that's freaky as fuck. Because I could tell you right now, people that know me, they may see that cake up there that I wouldn't put it past someone throwing it in the microwave thinking, let's get the smell out, because it must have smelled. Let's try to I could see men doing that in my house. But arranging my makeup, no, they're not touching that shit. Nobody cares. But not only did that happen, you guys, there was a watch and a personal letter stolen from her. So then Brian, being the guy he is that just wants to help everybody, went over and helped install a security camera. She later says that she believed Brian Koberger to be the one that went into her apartment. Now, they also did say that she had made it known to Brian Koberger that she had feelings for him, and he shot her down. I guess he had a type. What says you, Maggie?
Definitely, yeah. He had his eyes set on Marty by the looks of it, and she wasn't. I think it was strong. She was like, not strong. What is it? She was popular.
Yeah.
Everyone knew her, and
Yeah.
everyone loved her. And it was because of her popularity. That's what he was attracted to.
Yeah.
That,
Because
she was right out there because he was in the back. He was in the back. He was invisible. Nobody knew him, and she was the opposite of him.
And isn't that a lot like when we talked about the incel Elliot Rogers and how he was just so pissed off because none of the beautiful girls ever found him beautiful or fascinating or whatever. And I'm sure there were other girls that he could have been, but he didn't want those. He wanted the popular, the out there, he wanted to be the eye candy with them and them to be the Ken and Barbie together, I guess. So you're right. That makes a lot of sense. All right. So then we know that Brian called his parents. All right. In September, complaints. So in September, this is before the murders, you guys, there were complaints that were, I don't know if they where they go to, but a couple of students complained that he was it just says complaints of sexism, belittling their real professor because he was just a teacher's assistant. So he wasn't the professor in the class. So I don't know when the professor left if he was just like, saying he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know. It wasn't
Mm,
there. But they just say that he was belittling the professor and also grading the females differently than he graded the males, which is kind of weird. I
mm.
mean, I would think that he would grade the males differently and let the girls slide. Or was he just punishing them because they didn't notice him? I don't
Yeah,
know.
you just don't know, do you? What's
You
going on
don't.
in his mind? Do
On
you know
Sept
the name of the mountain? Because I'm trying
No,
to look it up and I can't find it.
there's
Sorry,
probably
AC,
a
I
couple
can't
there.
find
No,
it.
no, it's probably not a mountain. It's probably like a hill or a mound or something like that. That's
Yeah.
next to WSU. That's how you would probably look it up. Or a hiking trail at WSU. That may be how you can look it up. September 30th, uh he Googled social passive traits in college students. Social passive traits in college students. On October 22nd, he's browsing Instagram photos of WSU and IU girls. And according to Dateline, he had some saved to his phone. And those included some of the victims, Maddie, Kaylee, Xana's friends. Hi, Sierra, my beauty.
I see it.
AZ says, when you want to move something and then put it back exactly the way you found it, you set it aside in exactly the same way you found it. Mesa Falls Natural Trail. Is that what it's called?
Nature Trails, Mesa Falls Nature
Okay,
Trail.
okay.
Yeah. Or it says North Menon Boot Trail, but I think it's Mesa Falls. I put by the oh god. Oh god, I can't think the university. So that's what's coming up.
By WSU. Okay.
Yeah. It says they
Also,
are so nice, like nicely maintained, the little mountains. So yeah, it could be that
oh,
one.
nice. And on that same day, he was continuing searches for porn with drugged sleeping. So I'm guessing the type of porn he was looking for was this kind of stuff in it.
So
Okay.
so he
Because you
went
could find everything.
real late because he knew to be sleeping then, as well people normally sleeping but then. So he's researching them sleeping. Do you know what I mean? Drugged. Was he going in to do something? Was that his plan? But he was disturbed with Ethan and Zanny. So he
Good
wanted to do
question.
it while they was sleeping. That was the whole point to the time.
I do believe, JB, that his OCD made him do some strange things, but I'm sorry. I think he absolutely did stuff that would be noticeable right away to let her know that somebody was in there.
Mm.
All right, on October the 14th, he was pulled over again for running the red light. That is the video, the police cam that the defense wanted kept out of. They wanted it thrown out. They did not want the jury to be able to see it because unfortunately, Brian's being Brian, and he is quizzing this cop and kind of showing what he knows, and he was able to have an intellectual conversation with the cop. So, of course, defense didn't want that to be shown to the jury because they're trying to paint him as he doesn't understand shit. You guys, he can't even help with his own defense, and he has this weird way of staring off, and everything they said about him can be disproven in that cop cam. So guess what? The judge says, no, I'll allow it. On October 19th, he Googled again, can psychopaths behave pro-socially? On November the 22nd, hold on, I'm getting two different things. Now this is when my handwriting starts to change. I'm getting tired. So, okay, so I've got November 2nd and the 22nd, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Oh, it must be the 2nd. Okay. So November 22, the year is 22. On November 2nd, a female reports him for following her to her vehicle.
Mm.
On November 7th, the phone pings next to the King Road for the 23rd time. Y'all, come on. We're all smarter than that. Nobody, no matter how many stars you want to see, is going to drive into this little area that's highly congested with basically one way out 23 times in 4 months. Pretty safe there. Safe to say there's some casing going on there. What says you, Mags?
Yep.
I'm not buying it. I'm not that gullible. I don't buy it at all. Stars aren't different for miles, Donnie. I guarantee you, just about at the same time. If he left his home at WSU and drove to Moscow, Idaho, that's an 8-minute drive. Okay. The stars aren't going to change that much in 8 minutes with 8 miles apart. It's just not going to happen. Now, if he leaves his home, let's say 10 o'clock at night, he drives 3 hours and then ends up over here at 1122 King Road. Yep, the stars are going to be different. They could be brighter in Idaho than in Washington. True. It really it looks brighter because of the amount of light that you're in on the ground. It could be brighter due to, is it foggy or not foggy? Is it raining here and not raining there? Is it snowing here, not snowing there? So there's different things that would change it. I will agree with you on that. The stars are different up on a hill or a mountain as it will be in a dark sky area. Correct. I just don't, I'm sorry. I don't care how y'all want to spin it, spin it. I'll help you spin because I like things that go round and round and round and round and round, especially if I'm on them. Oh my God, I love it. But anyways, I don't care how you spin it. 23 times in 4 months in the same location that is congested like that is because you are A1, a stargazer, 2, you've got anxiety and that's what you go and do and it calms you down. Nope, it's not happening. Was he even into astronomy? That's a good question. On November the 10th, he quits using his debit card and starts using cash.
Yeah.
On November the 11th, he clears his school computer. And here we go. On November 13th, we've tightened everything up a little bit. At 2:54, and this is just what we're learning, I think, from
So what the hell was on his computer in the school then?
What the hell? I
He
don't
didn't do
know.
it at home. And they've got stuff on that. What the hell was on that? Don't you wonder? Oh my God. Can
I
they
don't
get,
even know.
if it's cleared though, surely they can get into that.
I wonder though, because if he's clearing the stuff on his school computer, was he
Let me
just
ask Ella.
clearing?
Hold on.
Maybe he was clearing off like his own files from the school, because was he coming back to the school uh after the winter break? And then I don't think he was coming back to take over his teacher's assistant. I don't think he was.
So we could still be found, yeah.
Oh yeah, it can all still be found, but people
Yeah.
like me wouldn't know that.
Oh no.
I know now, but I
Get
didn't
in here.
know years
Yeah.
ago. On November 13th at 2:54 a.m., phone is turned off. 3:26 to 4:07 a.m., surveillance shows the vehicle circling King Road 6 times. Anybody about that? Oh no. Are we still looking at the stars? Are we hoping that the fog has blown off so we could see the stars? Is this the only place in all of Idaho and all of Washington that we could actually see the stars? Come on, guys. From 3:26 to 4:07, that is 29 minutes. In 29 minutes, surveillance shows a vehicle circling King Road 6 times and eventually parking nearby. Just let that sink in. Make all the excuses you want to about how the stars look different from here to there and up and down and sideways. And in 29 minutes, he's seen circling 6 times on the same night that 4 college students are killed in their home. And that's not suspect at all.
And then he screeches off just after the murders.
Yeah. The last one, he's like
Mhm.
he's just gone. That's not suspect. Mm-mm. No reason to
Much.
No reason to suspect that Brian Koberger could have killed those people just by that evidence alone. At some point after 4:07, he enters the house. At 4:17, the neighbor's cam captures a whimper, a thud, and a dog bark. At 4,
Leanie,
yes,
can you tell me this? Right, I know it's not questions and answers. Do you want me to wait till
that's
tomorrow?
okay.
I'll
No, it's
write
fine.
it down.
It's fine.
It says, I've heard it says, right, so the dog was locked in the bedroom, yeah.
Mm.
But I heard it saying that the dog had got outside.
Listen, nothing has. There is zero anything in any of the court filings and motions and such like that that's talking about
Yeah.
Murphy. Zero. That's why I think I have my own theory on why he doesn't have any blood on him.
I just think he was
And
locked in the room, full stop. He never got out until the police come.
I don't know. Yeah, because the police say that. Well, the police report says that
They
he
give him,
that he
someone
was
didn't, he got him out.
told. So the guy who's filling out that report, the cop that's filling out the report, that's getting walked around the murder scene by the other cop, he was told that Murphy was in Kaylee's room. So
Yeah,
at that time,
yeah,
Murphy was
yeah.
not in the room anymore when he was being walked through the house.
Yeah, he'd been taken and given to one of the relatives or something.
Yeah, Jack took him with
Yeah.
him. All right. So then at 4:20, it shows the vehicle departs at high speed. At 4:48 through 5:39 a.m., the phone is reactivated and it pings south of Moscow, then Johnson and Pullman. I'm almost done with this part, you guys. He had 3 phone calls to his dad, the longest being 54 minutes. They were all on a family account, by the looks of it, his mom, dad, and himself. BK's phone back by the house at 9:12 a.m. What would he be? It's not dark outside. Why is he back by the house? There's no stars to see. I don't know. It's just weird. Y'all, I'm being facetious in case you don't know. BK's phone was back by the house at 9:12 a.m. and it was there for 9 whole minutes. There was a selfie taken in what we believe to be his own bathroom at his apartment in Pullman at 10:31. On November 15th, the University of Idaho murders K-bar sheath. Wait a minute, what did I write that? Oh, on November the 15th is when he started looking for a K-bar knife and a knife sheath on Amazon again. He did not purchase it though. Actually, there was one of the times that he went looking for it and he went to pay. You know how it tells you
Yeah,
pay
he left
now?
it in the, yeah, that's
Yeah, he left it.
checkouts.
He
Yeah.
he went to checkout and he never finished it. On
Mm.
November the 18th, he watches Ted Bundy, The Perfect Killing Machine, replaces the car plates on the front and back, and he actually takes pictures. Y'all, what? Who's taking pictures?
Mm.
Is it a proud moment? Is it the first time he's ever put plates on his own car? And so he took pictures of his plates because he took pictures of the new plates on his car, front and back. I don't know.
In his madness, he wanted them there going, look, I've got these. I was doing this. I was doing that.
Yeah.
Mm.
On November the 27th, he takes more selfies, searches, hold on. My writing is terrible. He searches his own name, saves 60 plus. You guys get this. So on November 27th, he takes more selfies. He's already back in Pullman. I mean, already back in Pennsylvania when this happens, you guys. He searches for his own name, saves 60 plus murder news items to his phone. So he's looking through his phone, right? And he's pulling up, oh yeah, Banfield says this. Oh, save it. What this news article says about the murders. Oh, save it. Y'all, we've been going through all this like crazy. I've thrown away more than I've ever saved. And sometimes I sit here and go, shit, we should have saved that.
Mm.
So let's see. On November 28th at 2:11 a.m., he watches Dr. Grande's episode, Echoes of Ted Bundy, with photos of Maddie Mogan and Kaylee on the thumbnail. So I guess on the thumbnail for this guy's video that Brian started watching, Maddie and Kaylee were on the thumbnail. On November 30th, he Googled his own name again. On December the 6th, now y'all know there's shit happening on other days. You guys know that. This will all be filled in. On November the 6th, Amazon, he went looking on Amazon again for a utility knife, a K-bar, and a sheath. On December 15th at 2:59 a.m., he watches the video with the quote of, "Something is wrong with me. I can't be who I need to be. Something is wrong with me. Will it last for eternity?" On December 17th, he arrives back in Pennsylvania. I don't know why I've got that stuck down there. On December 21st, 2 more selfies. The family notices these, I don't have dates on, but sometime between the 20th and the 21st and the 27th is when the family started noticing. The sister wonders if he could have committed the murders. She had a discussion with his, apparently she had a discussion with her dad about it. They thought he was acting a little wacko, and I truly believe more stuff's going to come out in his childhood. What says you, Maggie? I think when they throw whoever his family is, I think they're going to ask him about the childhood and did he do anything to animals?
Yeah, that's what I
Or
was just going to say. You might say that
Yeah.
is cruel, things will come out because that's what they say, don't they? That it starts
Yeah.
off with animals. I'm just
Yeah.
looking up here. What way did Ted Bundy kill his victims? Was it a knife or did he choke them all?
I think he did both. I think he strangled and used a knife because remember he saved some body parts.
Oh, did he?
Hmm.
I'll have to watch that, you know. I was
The
just
other,
thinking, did he use a K-bar knife? I'm just
I
looking
don't,
there to
I
see.
don't know. Y'all know what I was thinking about when I saw that there was twice he looked up after the murders, like getting a knife and a knife sheath, right? I was wondering two things, and y'all just this is just a thought that I was thinking, like, did he want to get the knife and the knife sheath that way? After the autopsies were done on the victims, and they say it was a large knife, just like they did. And in case his name came up, that he would have a replacement. Or here's something even scarier that I thought, and I thought about it today. What if he was replacing it to do it again?
I think he was. I think
But
he would do it again. I think he definitely would have done it again.
but what if he was replacing it? Because if you see during the times that he went looking for it, it was before he got home. What if he was looking for it again to off part of his family?
Who knows? Who
I've
knows?
just got a sick
Sister,
feeling.
sister.
Yes, I've got a really, really sick feeling that there was some tension between both of his sisters or one of his sisters. And
Mm.
I'm wondering, and then maybe he just decided I can't do that because it's still too close and it puts me too close to these people. But I'm really curious to know what kind of relationship he had with his sisters and his mother. I worry about his mother as well. I mean, does he blame his mom for
I think
obviously
he was
his
spoiled
mom?
by his mother. I think he was spoiled by her, wasn't he?
Yeah, but also
She was
isn't
campaigning for Ted Bundy as well.
but is yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is she the one that introduced him to
Yeah,
not
it's a
not
bit weird, isn't it?
yeah, not maybe like on purpose, like they sat down and read a
No,
book
I know what you
together,
mean.
but maybe she was just watching things or not Googling, but looking
She
up
was
things,
voicing her
reading books.
opinions and her
Right,
interests and stuff.
right. And so he was like, wait, what?
Got a bit
Why does that
fixated.
sound? Why does that sound a lot of like what I think about? So did he blame his mom? I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that's why he did that. I'm not, but I wouldn't be surprised if um if it because I have a brother, I have brother-in-laws, I have kids or whatever. There's not one person that I could think of that I even know that I would think, "Oh, you might be the killer." You know what I mean?
Mm.
And the sister actually said, "Dad." I mean,
Because of the way he was acting and stuff like that since it had
yeah.
happened, and
And
so
it
something's gone on in his past to
yes.
even think that. So,
Yes.
was he cruel to animals? Did he have that trait? Because you think, I mean, I'm not being funny, I've seen kids, Leanie, and I've seen some, it's terrible to say about a child, and you just go, "Oh, it's got an evil streak."
Well, yeah,
It's
what
just
if he
you just don't know whether they thought one day he was gonna, you look at someone and think one day he's gonna grow up him like that because you just see
yeah,
it in them.
and did he ever pull a knife on one of them before?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Miss
Because
Barbara
to
says,
say that
"Mm,
about one of your family, something's got to have gone on.
yeah, something, I mean, and don't wait a minute, did one or both of his sisters, didn't they have some kind of psychological training?
Yeah,
Am
she
I
worked
right
for it.
about that?
Yeah, that's right. They
Um,
are what are they? Psychologists, something.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because that's what his secondary is in. Barbara says one of his sisters seemed kind of detached from the rest of the family. Makes you wonder.
That
Hi,
she got
Wild
away.
Angel. Good to see you.
Hiya, Wild
The
Angel.
footage of
She got
BK
away.
in the car when they stopped him is chilling. Oh, girl, yeah. Yeah, good to see everybody. Thank you for being there.
Someone
We hit the like.
mentioned as well, Leanie, when he got pulled up in the car and his dad was with him.
Mhm.
Now, they knew then about the, well, obviously Brian's here, but what I mean, the dads knew about them 4 kids. And yet when he mentioned to the police, he talked about something completely different.
You know,
Like the big news there was them kids.
I don't want to. I'm scared of saying anything like that because I don't want to blame the. You know, I just hope and pray
Now I'm thinking
that his
I
dad
don't think
had
he was
nothing to do with
involved.
it.
No, I don't think. I'm thinking did his dad, as they've been talking, the sister and that, and going, I'm
Mm,
telling you it's him and these kids, you know, don't be stupid and all this. And then sort of when he was nervous and he was talking to the police because maybe he thought that's what they were getting stopped for. And he was dreading, thinking, oh my God, is it him or whatever? So then
mhm.
just out of nerves, he just mentioned the other. Was it
Right.
another? Yeah, what was it he mentioned? I forgot now. I can't explain what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
But
I
I
know
know
what you're
what
talking
I
about
mean.
when the dad was talking about that there was something had gone on
Something had gone on,
back there
hadn't
and they
it?
were
Yeah.
trying to get the hell out of there. Yeah. Yeah.
And I
I just
don't think that
remember
that
I
has
remember
anything to do with
BK
it.
I remember BK looking over at him like shut the fuck up. That's what I got from it. And the Indiana State Police came out, you guys, and they said that they were not under orders from the FBI to stop to do those 2 traffic stops. What were they, 13 minutes apart or something like that? You guys, police are allowed to lie. I've already told you this unless they're under oath or signing any kind of official documents. And I firmly 100% believe the FBI had him pulled over um, because they wanted to see his hands. I firmly believe that. She means they knew it happened. AZ says if BK then has been a creepy, potentially dangerous guy his whole life, and an older sister would probably have sensed that for years. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Hi,
maybe that's why
PCT.
she was away from them. I see.
Yeah,
Maybe that's it.
absolutely.
You don't know, do you? She'd left the home because of the things he was doing, and they let him off. Basically, what no one was trying to put him right. Maybe they were terrified to put him right. He's put a knife through them. No,
Yep.
would you?
All right. On December 27th, DNA from the trash is compared to the sheath. Same day, BK watches Ted Bundy, the essence of a psychopath. On December 29th at 11:53 a.m., BK listens to the cover of Britney Spears' song Criminal. And that's disturbing. I never even heard that damn song until last
No.
Wednesday. It's disturbing, especially when they slow it down and it sounds
Yeah.
like a man singing. Ugh! So gross.
Yeah.
And then on December the 30th at 1:14 a.m., he was arrested at his parents' house. Parents were both zip tied.
Oh,
And BK
that
in the
was bad.
cruiser. Well, they had to be zip tied. They were in the house
Why?
instead of putting them in. Well, because cops only carry one set of uh of
Handcuffs.
handcuffs. They have zip ties though, so it's another way just to handcuff somebody.
Okay.
But
Because
I
I thought,
mean,
why would they do that?
no, they do that a lot. If there's
Because they
several
didn't have
different
any.
people out there, they'll zip tie them up.
Okay.
Because I can just cut those off, you know. And and this gets me. So supposedly, when he was in the police cruiser, he says, "When this is over, y'all want to go get some coffee?" Now, you guys, we don't know if that's true.
Do you
Just
think
like
that he thought he was just going to get away with it? That he's done the perfect, you know,
I do
murder.
think he thought he was gonna get away with it.
Yeah,
I
get away with it.
do.
I do.
Even at that point, I think he thought, "You guys don't know shit."
Yeah, just kind of be normal. I'm going to walk
Yeah,
away from this. He didn't realise. Mind you, he must have knew he'd left the sheet by then.
yeah. But I
Obvious.
think he thinks he
There was
covered
no
his ass
print.
enough,
Yeah, because he was
you
covered
know?
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no blood. He didn't know he had left that uh that
print.
DNA in the freaking
Mm,
clip of the sheath. I mean, it looked good, but what ends up making is going to end up just sealing this case is the totality of evidence.
yeah.
No, there is
The
not
mountain
this
of it,
many.
isn't it, against
It
him?
and it just keeps adding up,
Yeah,
Maggie. It
yeah.
just keeps adding up. And I think, you could take we read what last Wednesday we read what was it 30 something pieces of evidence that they've got on him that's going to be shown in court that we know of so far. And even if we took away over half of them, there's still
Yeah.
not that
So
much
much.
coincidence in this
Yeah.
world.
No.
So, but I do think that he lost he thought he was thinking crime scene, crime scene, crime scene. And then he was stupid enough to think, just delete this and delete that, and those fuckers are never going to find it.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have taken, instead of so much a criminology class, maybe he should have taken some computer science or
Mm.
something like that. I don't know. Um, I don't know because he was just basically creating the same kind of crime scenes seen Bundy almost, I mean, get away with for years and years and years before they finally got him, you know. And the reason why he did is because back then we didn't have the technology. We didn't have phones. You couldn't order shit online, get it sent to you. You know what I mean? There's no surveillance. There's no CCTV and shit like that. Sure, if you could keep a crime scene pretty clean, yeah, you probably could get away with it. But he just wasn't thinking smart enough about uh the social trail he left and the technology trail he left and all the receipts. He dumb fuck. He should have taken some more classes before he started. And I say that facetiously. I wish it had never happened.
He
JB
probably
says
did
they
think,
are
thought he didn't need
disposable
it.
handcuffs that work like zip ties.
Right.
Uh,
Okay, JP.
AZ says, I wonder if the feds had already pulled his personal trash from the neighbors and tested the DNA before the poop before the local authorities pulled his parents' trash. I'm not sure. I thought I remember reading something on that, but I'm not sure. He could have gotten away with it if he was smarter. I believe that too, JB. I mean, he covered a lot of shit. He really, really did.
Mm.
And I am a firm believer if you could do away with everything on the internet, all of the searches, all of the purchases, all of um,
So,
the tracking information. I think if you could put all of that away,
if
uh,
that
go ahead.
DNA on the sheet, if that hadn't been found, right, even though they had him in his car going round and
Mhm.
round, then, screeching out after the murder, could, what would have happened then if
I
they never had
think
any DNA?
I still think he would be found on circumstantial evidence, but he would not get the death penalty.
Right, okay. Do you think he'll get the death penalty?
Yes. A lot of people say that he
Feeling that
won't.
he won't. I've got a feeling he won't.
I think I'm just hoping out for good things.
Yeah.
Because I want him to have the death penalty. He
I
probably
just
won't
don't.
get put to death.
As long as he's off the streets, he needs to be gone. Ends off. I mean, yeah. I just happy that he's off the streets.
No, I would love for him to sit in cells by himself um and worry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would love that. Absolutely.
Mm.
But then there's also something to be, because look, this is such a high profile case that they're still going to try to keep him safe. Unless you got a guard who would be like me, that I'm going to turn my head. Oh, is that Koberger in the yard? All right,
Yeah.
guys, I gotta pee. I'll be back. That would be me,
Yeah.
because I believe in jailhouse justice. I love it.
Me
I
too.
absolutely love it.
Because if that was one
Um,
of my family, as long as I favour ends off,
yeah,
you touch my child.
yeah, I would turn my head in a heartbeat. Now that's why I can't have jobs like that, because I got to be an honest person. So when I went to go get hired, I'd be like, no, man. If we know for a fact someone committed a heinous crime against another human, I'm turning my back. I mean, I definitely don't want to pay for them to eat anymore. No.
Mm.
JB says pay cash for the knife and don't drive around and don't search on his phone. Right.
Mm.
AZ says, I think he did it, but still reasonable doubt at this point he might walk. I can understand that. JB
I want to
says
know
he
why
can
he went
sit
to,
and
sorry, to
arrange
Costco.
things. I can't wait.
I want
JB
to
says
know.
he can sit and arrange things on his toilet. Yeah.
Was he just going to Costco because he just got rid of crap then in that river? There's a river. Was
The
it that
Snake
just,
River is over
yeah,
there.
yeah, by the way, he was just, going to Costco.
Right.
I don't
On
know.
the death
They've got
penalty,
him now, haven't they?
yeah. Yeah, on death penalty, he won't be around people. That's right. That's right. But
So will
I
he just be in a
still want
cell
him.
on his own?
Yeah, he'll be a cell on his own. That doesn't mean that death penalty people haven't gotten killed, because they have. But I just want him sitting there worried, like what's going to be his last day and all that. I would love that so much.
Yeah,
But
you'd
then
never
I
know.
would also love him just throwing him, being out in the yard. But even still, because it's so high profile, he will have more security. So
Mm.
there's that. All right, let me show you guys these. I'm going to go ahead and play just play a little bit of this crime fix, you guys. I like Jeanette Levy as well. Let's go ahead and play this
JB says he can sit and arrange the things on his toilet.
on his toilet. Right, Barbara, and only let out for 1 hour a day. That's right. And then I think they only get one or two showers a week, and it's kind of private. All right, let's look at this. 9 leaked details in the Koberger case. All right, are we good over there, Mags?
Yep. You can make it bigger. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
that.
Let's listen to this. Y'all watch your ears, okay?
Lainey, take the
Yes.
side bit off. Can you not click on? Yeah, wait. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Watch your guys' ears, okay? Here we go.
Vehicle 1 circling the King Road neighborhood minutes before 4 University of Idaho students were murdered. And a new report by Dateline reveals Brian Koberger's Google searches about pornography, serial killer Ted Bundy, and the possible intended target that morning. I go through the new information. I'm Jeanette Levy, and this is Crime Fix. Now, all I can say is wow about this new information that has been revealed by Dateline about the Brian Koberger case. Jury selection in Koberger's death penalty case is scheduled to begin on July 30th. That's less than 3 months from now, and it's not that far off. With the trial that close, this trove of new information has come out, and it was aired, as I mentioned, on an episode of Dateline. It revealed Koberger's Google searches for pornography, selfies he took of himself wearing all black, including hoodies, and searching several times over 3 months before and after the murders for serial killer Ted Bundy. Now, prosecutors could possibly use the searches for pornography about a woman being passed out to point to a possible motive. Dateline also revealed who investigators believed was the intended target that morning and the order in which the 4 students were killed. We'll talk more about that in a bit. It's actually something we've discussed here a few times on Crime Fix in the past. Kohberger's lawyers have said he maintains his innocence in the murders of Maddie Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle in the early morning hours of November 22nd, 2022. Now, prosecutors have said they linked Bryan Kohberger to the murders on King Road through a single source of DNA left on a K-bar knife sheath just like this one. That DNA left on the inner snap of the knife sheath. This knife sheath, the one's very similar to this one, was left next to Maddie Mogen's body on her bed. Kohberger was taken into custody at his parents' home in Pennsylvania on December 30th, 2022. Police have revealed in hearings that he was wearing a black hoodie and they feared he was destroying evidence. So they broke down the door of his parents' house, rushed in, and took him into custody. Police said they could see Kohberger in his parents' kitchen using a drone with a video feed. Kohberger's lawyers have said his parents were zip-tied and Kohberger was taken into custody. And Kohberger, in his own kind of odd way, suggested to the officers that they get coffee sometime at a later date. Kohberger's lawyers have suggested that that is just one example of the way in which he lacks the ability to pick up on social cues because he has autism. But back to this new information that's come out. Kohberger was working on getting his PhD at Washington State University in Pullman, Washington. He left Pennsylvania for Washington in late June. He got his Washington driver's license on July 1st. Later in July, Bryan Kohberger went to a pool party in Moscow at the Grove Apartments. We've reported on that in the past. But Dateline reports Kohberger made some women there uncomfortable, including a married woman who had to signal to her husband to come over and intervene. A woman named Holly told Dateline that she exchanged numbers with Kohberger at that party. She said he later texted her about their shared interest in hiking. The text was oddly formal, she said. It read, "Hey, I am pretty sure we spoke about hiking trips yesterday. I really enjoyed that activity, so please let me know. Thanks." Holly told Dateline she got distracted and never responded. The following month, on August 16th, Dateline says Bryan Kohberger's cell phone records show he Googled Ted Bundy's name with a typo, and a paper written about Bundy by one of his professors entitled Ted Bundy on the Malignant Being, an Analysis of the Justificatory Discourse of a Serial Killer. Ted Bundy killed women in the 1970s. He went to college in Washington State and then moved east to Florida, killing 2 sorority sisters at the Chi Omega House in January of 1978. He was sentenced to death and executed in 1989. Ironically, Bryan Kohberger's mother had actually written to her local paper at the time opposing the death penalty for Ted Bundy, but that was before Bryan Kohberger was even born. That same day, on August 16th, Maddie Mogen had posted a photo on Instagram of her and her roommates. And that very same day, a noise complaint was called in to Moscow police for the house on King Road.
Sound's gone off, Lee.
Sorry, I'm talking to myself.
Okay.
Let me, I just have a few questions I wanted to ask all of y'all. Now we know that, you know, the police were called a couple of good times to this house. And it's been said, nothing concrete. This is just the speculation that people have said that they believe that it's possible that Bryan Kohberger made a couple of those calls just for different reasons, right? He could see whoever's at the door, who's coming to the door. He could see the people that live in the house, who hangs out at the house. He can, you know, just to, I guess, get a light on the house enough just to scare these occupants that, you know, they better walk the line and pick and choose what they're going to what to call the police on, because this, you know, they've already been told over several times on all of the body cam footage that we've seen at different calls. They always tell them, if we come out here again, someone's getting arrested. I do want to point out this picture that you see Kaylee Gonsalves coming out and talking to the police this time. The boy in the background, guys, is Hunter Johnson. That is the one who actually went in and found the victims. Also, there was something else I was going to ask you guys, and I plumb forget. So there you go. All right, here we go. Let's keep going with this.
Is this your place?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know why we're here?
And I assume noise.
Noise, yeah.
Yeah.
5 days later, the night before classes started at the University of Idaho, Brian Koberger was pulled over less than 2 miles away from the King Road house. We've told
This is a great view, and I just want to stop it here. You guys forgive me for stopping it, but I don't want to get a copyright. But I think this is just one of the great views of the area. So where you see Brian Koberger coming in and out, this right here is where that cam is, that a lot of the stuff that we're seeing and footage of the white car. So you see the car come in right over this way, right? So you can go out this way, or you can go out that way, or whatever, right?
Are you
So
moving your curly?
I am. Can you not see me?
No, I can't.
Here I am. Oh, here I
No,
am. Okay.
Yeah.
So this house right here, it looks like there was a light up here on their porch, but it's actually a cam. Most of the footage that we have is actually coming from this, including the sound of the dog, the thunk, and the whimpering, crying, what may have you. And then so there's that over. Is it here? It's here. Over here, there is. I think there's another cam. No. I think it's over here. There's another cam
I
somewhere.
thought it was on the other side of that house where you've just pointed.
It's on this one right here in the front. Yes.
But
There's other cams that they have, like back in here. There's some houses. But so we see Brian Koberger spinning his ass out right through here. When you see Brian leaving, you see him coming in, right? So back here you have to go all the way around. Back here you can come in here, and then there's this little parking area back here that you could look straight into the house. I now believe he parked like right on the slope road right here, and not so much back there, just by the way that the placards, the evidence placards were placed outside this back door right here. But I think this just gives us a better understanding of if he flew his ass out of here. It could see how you guys, this is it's so congested. These roads are little, they're bumpy, they're crappy for the most part. And you see, you've only got room for one vehicle to even go back here, because the way that there's no parking back there. They probably made this parking for these two apartment complexes. And I mean, for him to be driving as fast as he was when he left, it wouldn't surprise me that he almost hit somebody. I just think this is amazing view. All right.
It is a good picture.
told you about that before. 5 days later, Dateline says Koberger Googled, when can a cop detain you? Lately, I've been seeing some really amazing makeup trends on social media, but no matter the trend, I feel like there's always that one brand you come back to.
Yeah, we don't care, bitch. I got my own makeup.
When Ann Taylor recently asked Judge Hippler to bar prosecutors from using 2 words to describe Brian Koberger?
Our request is that the court not allow the state to label him in testimony as a psychopath or a sociopath, because any kind of testing is unreliable. That would relate to, or that would become problematic within the rules of evidence to do so, and the inflammatory nature of those kinds of labels would.
I'm not aware of any testing that has been done that has reached that conclusion. Am I missing something?
You are not missing anything. There has not been any testing. There has not been any labeling. This, again, is my opportunity to bring a preventative motion to protect Mr. Koberger's constitutional rights.
We may now know why Ann Taylor made that request. Dateline reports that in late September, Koberger Googled sociopathic traits in college students. And later in October, Koberger Googled, can psychopaths behave prosocially?
Now, don't
And
you
later in
think?
October, Koberger, and later in October,
Fuck you. I would never think to, and just because I wouldn't do it doesn't mean somebody else would ever do it. But unless you have these types of problems, a sociopath or your family member or someone close to you, psychopath, sociopath, why would you, and he's, why would you have to Google these? Anybody?
Koberger Googled, can psychopaths behave prosocially? Now, it's not clear if these searches were related to his coursework, himself, or something going on in class. Koberger was certainly having a rough time adjusting to life at Washington State. He was a teaching assistant, and in early November, WSU faculty met with him about an improvement plan after he met a student at her car and gave her the creeps. After this, there were more visits to Moscow, with Koberger's car pinging off the cell tower that covered the King Road house. That's something we've told you about many times, that an FBI analyst will testify that Koberger's phone was in the area of the King Road house on 23 occasions from July until November 7th, 2022, and these visits were late at night. No one has ever said whether the car stopped near the house or not. Dateline also reports that investigators found several Instagram photos of female students from Washington State University and the University of Idaho on Koberger's phone, and that some of those students were friends of and Instagram followers of Maddie, Kaylee, and Xana. Now, when it comes to the night of the murders, Dateline revealed investigators' theory about the intended target, and they also revealed details that only the killer would know. They believe Maddie Mogan was the target, but they don't know when she could have caught Koberger's eye. They believe she was the target since the killer went to her room, but didn't expect Kaylee Gonsalves to be there, which threw off his plan. Dateline reports that investigators believe Xana Kernodle heard the loud struggle between Kaylee and the killer and went to check it out, but then the killer chased Xana to her bedroom where she fought for her life. And then Ethan Chapin, asleep or passed out in the bed, was killed with one knife strike to an artery and his lower legs carved in some way by the killer.
I don't know if we mentioned that. Did we mention that? Oh, we have to talk about that. We have to. That was probably the saddest thing that I had heard in the Dateline thing. What says you, Maggie?
I agree.
Ah,
Couldn't believe it. Thought, what
'cause
the hell?
yeah,
What's he
we
done?
already we already knew that, that the victims were savagely
Mm.
beaten and also killed.
Was, Lainey, was that going to be, what do they call it? You know, when a murderer always does something the same.
His calling card.
Is, yeah, you know, like that's to show it's him. Was that how he was going to continue if he'd got away with it? That's his calling card. That's what he does. Carves out the legs or whatever. Was
Wow.
that what, you know?
Maybe it could have been. It makes no sense to me. April said she remember hearing that in the beginning because it got leaked out.
Oh,
I'd never heard of that.
me
Never.
neither.
But I'm very, very careful, like who I listen to when it comes to any kind of crimes I'm interested in, because I realize that a lot of people do it to make money, and I don't support that, first of all. Second of all, I just believe some of them just don't do enough work. That's why because when I first started, I thought maybe I want to be a true crime channel. And then I realized how much freaking work goes into it. I was like, oh no. Like, I'm not going to be that dedicated to nothing. So, that's why we do the channel we do, which is a little bit of everything. But I feel like to be a good reporter of true crime, whether you're going to do it on a TV or do it on YouTube or a platform, you got to do your homework. You can't just watch other people. And believe me, I know there are creators out there that watch other people's videos and they spin on it and then they release it as their own. I get that. But to be good, you really have to do your homework. And I have tried not to watch like YouTube people doing their thing because I never want it said of me that I copied somebody. There are some things I've looked up like maps and things just to understand. But I've never watched a full on YouTube video of whatever they're covering if I'm going to cover it like this because I don't want anybody tainting what I think. You know, I mean, like we can all talk about it. You can give me something to think about, but I don't want my theory to come off of their theory. And I don't want y'all to take my theory and run with it because you guys may think something else and that's fine. But, and I'm sorry. Listen, if it's a crime that's already been solved, it's locked up, it's thrown away. And if you want to cover it and make money off it, do it. And I don't find nothing wrong with that. But for me, there's no way that I am making money other than memberships that are going to be paid for monthly anyways. There's no way that I would monetize any of these because I just think that's trash. But that's just me. I was given different morals and values in my life, and I refuse to make money off an open tragedy like this. Just me. But why would they? Why? I mean, it only makes sense that either it would have been his calling card, like Maggie said, or did he hate him that much because he was a male?
Or he got in his, it was because of them that his plan had gone wrong. He was in so much of a rush now to get away where he had it all planned. It should just been Maddie asleep in bed.
Oh
And
my
that's what he'd been
God.
looking up. That's what he wanted to do. She had to be asleep. Was he going
Wait,
to SA? Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
He just-
I still believe he would have killed her because
No,
of,
that's what I mean. He had
but I
intentions
think
to kill
he,
her. That's why the K-bar knife he wanted to.
yeah,
I think he wanted to scare her. He wanted before he killed her.
mm-hmm, yeah. But I mean, I think it's a high possibility if things had gone according to plan that he would have essayed her first.
Yeah,
But I was blown away, Mag. I just kept rewinding it. I'm not gonna lie, kept
I
rewinding it.
did. I kept doing that.
Really understand what they were saying. I mean, was it satanic kind of things? I mean, I haven't seen
What
any.
I mean, the Markens, you don't know, do you?
Yeah, and then I went back through some of the stuff, and I haven't seen anything that really leads to like a him being satanic. You know what I mean?
No.
So, I mean,
I think he's
could he
just been
carve
sitting there
maybe,
thinking what he wants to make as his mark.
yeah, maybe he just carved like, BTK. That wasn't his name, but that's what he went by, BTK,
Mm,
right? So, did he come up with his own like name, killer name, and that's what he carved
mm.
into his legs?
Or some
Oh
type of
my
pattern.
God. Y'all, I mean, I pray to God that Ethan was all right, and I'm sure
Imagine
he
his
had to
mum
be.
and dad, I mean, thinking not only did he do what he did to him, he had to, oh, just horrible, isn't it?
It just,
Just
it
doesn't
just
bear
breaks
thinking
my
about
heart.
being your own.
It, I don't, how do you do that to somebody? Listen, you may not think you worship the devil, but there is no way, unless you are completely sadistic, that you could actually take a blade and
Yeah.
carve anything into someone's flesh.
Mm.
Right, AZ. Investigators believe, right. Lunchy
Mm.
says he could have cut his Achilles so he couldn't walk for sure. Ah, now there. That
Yeah,
was
it's
so
good to
disgusted.
mean
He's a
him, yeah,
monster.
to stop him.
Yes,
Yeah, you're right.
that's right. And then maybe finished off with Xana and then
Mm.
finished off Ethan because we know that he cut him uh in an artery that he bled out right away.
Yeah.
JB said, I thought we said they all had on clothes. I wonder if he had on shorts to sleep in. Possible.
Mm.
It's possible. I heard about Ethan's legs a long time ago too. Swanee, I've never heard it.
My God, I haven't. Oh,
My heart just ugh, poor Ethan.
that's what I mean, April. It took extra time. I'm thinking, was he so angry that that's why he done that to him? Because he put him out, he'd changed everything, or was that going to be his calling cards? He'd sat there and thought about this for that long. I mean, he got the knife the year before, so he's thinking, you know, of all things, like we all know that these killers always leave, always do something to be
Mhm.
known it's them by. So maybe
I
that
mean,
was it.
was he planning on SA-ing Maddie and then killing her and then carving his name or
Something in
something
it,
into
yeah,
her? You
yeah.
know, and then it
It
just, I don't
didn't
know.
go to plan because they were there and he didn't expect that. Because let's think about it. He couldn't have known they were there. Who would have gone into a house knowing there was 4 people there?
Lunch lady, I don't think you can establish the relationships we all have if you had been strictly true crime. I believe that as well. I absolutely believe that as
Mm,
well. God knew what he was doing when he put us all together. Miss
mm,
Barbara, I wish I knew. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I want to see crime scene photos. And then that probably
yeah,
makes me a terrible person, but I want to see them.
no, but I do.
AZ says Ethan's legs was mentioned in a text that was shared to the 4chan a long time ago. Supposedly, a friend of an FBI agent that was on the scene. Really? I
Oh,
hung out in 4chan for a long time and I never saw that because I was looking for crime scene photos to be leaked. I'm terrible. It said sliced deep to his hamstrings.
yeah.
Mm.
God.
Barb, Ethan's legs were carved with
Was
little
he
cuts while
sporty,
he sat in
Ethan?
the chair. Wow, so you think Ethan was sitting in a chair?
Said he was in bed. That's why the blood,
We know,
but I
yeah,
don't know.
we know where he ended up, which was in bed. AZ says, I've got the screenshot of the text message, but who knows if
Oh,
it's true. AZ, I would love to have it.
oh
Would you
God,
mind
yeah.
sending it to accordingtolini@gmail.com? I don't have to know your real name from there, and I can just put it over here on the page and we can share it tomorrow. If you listen, if any of you guys have anything you want us to look at that maybe came out in the early days,
Mhm.
that we can clear things up or just maybe even verify, because obviously if it was said early on, it's been verified now. Send me messages, emails, and we'll get them up here and we can talk about it. It's accordingtolini@gmail.com. Some say he was resting. I'm not sure. I think he was asleep on the bed.
I
I think he
thought
was
he
passed
said he
out.
was sleeping. Oh
Yes.
God.
Ramirez carved pentagrams, the Night Stalker. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes, and it took extra time to do that too. You're correct. I do believe BK studied all that. Yeah. Hi, Rapper.
Are you Rapper?
I can send it. Was shared by another creator. I'll include that info with the email. Thank you so much, AZ. That's so kind of you. I store everything in my brain. I do too, Joni, and then I forget it.
Oh, my brain's gone. I stopped putting stuff there. Oh, about a year ago now.
Sometimes I forget that I have a brain.
Yeah.
Just
What's
saying.
one of them?
What's a brain?
Yeah. I remember those days when he had one. That was good.
Ever, Phil. I will tell myself, I don't need to write that down. I'll remember it. Y'all don't remember shit. Nothing. Richard Ramirez creeped me out. Yes, me too. He was nasty. I mean, they're all nasty, but you could see evil all over his face. I meant BK was resting in a chair while he carved Dateline. Oh my
Maybe
god.
that's why he sat down, yeah,
Oh, maybe he sat down to carve.
to do it.
Why wouldn't he just sit on the bed?
Didn't want to get it. He just wanted to. I don't know.
Oh God, who knows? Yeah, maybe he didn't realize there was blood on his bum. And I think the blood on his bum was just him wiping his gloves off, you guys.
Or poor Kaylee dragging at him and
Mm-hmm. Which makes you wonder, wait a minute. Remember when we talked about the wall being cut out? Did he have blood on his backside then? And that's why they cut it.
went
Remember, we
into
were
the
like,
wall. Yeah.
hopefully there's some kind of blood.
Or did he write anything on the wall in the blood?
Or did he write any? I think, wait a minute. Did you guys hear early on that there was something written in blood on the wall? That sounds
No.
familiar to me. That sounds
Oh.
familiar to me. All right, let's keep going with this. Rapper, good to see you, baby. Welcome in.
Dateline quotes investigative sources as saying the killer sat down in a chair in Xana's room, exhausted, leaving impressions from blood on the chair before leaving the house, walking past surviving roommate DM, and speeding away, leaving the neighborhood. Later that morning, after 6 a.m., Dateline says Koberger called a phone registered to his father 3 times, talking one time for at least 37 minutes. Then his phone showed he returned to Moscow for a time after 9 a.m., but then went home. Later that morning at 10:31 a.m., he snapped this selfie, giving a thumbs up in the
What a fucking creep.
bathroom mirror. We showed that photo to you nearly 2 months ago when prosecutors filed it in a motion. 3 days after the murders, Dateline reports that Koberger Googled the University of Idaho murders for the first time and then Googled his own name. He followed news of the case, watching at least 60 items about it, including.
Yo, I have to say this right now. Have you ever Googled your own name?
Yeah.
I have. I Googled, listen,
Oh.
I have Googled everyone I've ever worked with, myself, my husband, my kids. Y'all, I Google my kids. Those
Well,
little
I only
effers.
did that when my brother's ex was dating living with someone, run away, left him with the kids. And I just happened to put this name. I've never done it before. Put it in and it went boom. That was it. You would believe what came up. They had to go to the police station straight away. That's all I'll say. There you go. So
Yeah,
I've never
I
done that
Googled
before.
so much, and I'm not making excuses for the man because to me, this just adds up to the next thing he did, to the next thing he did. There are no subtractions here. It's just all adding. I'm just letting you guys know that because I'm that smart.
Pieces on law and crime and other YouTube channels. He took
Think
more
he watched
selfies in
us?
black hoodies and even watched a show in December on YouTube called Ted Bundy, The Essence of a Psychopath, and watched another show about the murders, comparing the murders to Ted Bundy with Kaylee and Maddie's photo on the thumbnail.
So to talk about all of this, I want to bring in Josh Ritter. He is the host of.
All right, I'm going to stop right there because the rest of this to me is just hearsay. I mean, neither one of these two were here. They went off the Dateline thing, and then now she's just getting his take on getting his take on how he views what had come up. So I'm going to stop that one right there. The chair has his butt print. Why is JB done? Oh, is
I don't
JB
know.
done
Think
like
she's
I'm
fed up
done?
listening.
She's fed up.
She's
Barbara.
had enough. She gave up it years ago.
Barbara said, never with a name like mine, the computer would crash.
Mrs.
I
Smith.
just do. I just do. I always did a background check on all the boys that my girls brought home. I was honest about them.
Oh, I would
The
too.
minute I met them, I was like, "Can I have your driver's license, please?" And they just nobody
And your
ever questioned
DNA.
me.
Gonna take a
Yeah,
swab
right
from the
there,
side of your
ri-
mouth.
right there in front of them. And what are you doing? Yeah, I'm checking. I'm doing a background check. I need to see how many tickets you get pulled over. I mean, my kid's getting in your car. All right. And nobody ever got mad at me for that. And nobody ever
I
didn't go
think you
on a
should be
date.
able to buy DNA kits and do it. But if they come in, I'd say, look,
Yeah, but
do
it takes weeks. The kids would be pissed if they had to wait weeks to go on a date.
then
I'm sorry,
we've
girls.
just got to
You
take
cannot go
chances
on a
then.
you
Let them
cannot go
go.
on a date. Maggie says, girls, you
And we've
cannot
got
go on
them.
a date until we get DNA results
DNA.
back.
Well, we just have to let them go. And if they do anything, we've got their DNA.
Well, that's true. All right.
The
So
best we can do.
did you guys has everybody seen the selfies?
Yeah. The thumbs up or the ones in the hoodie.
The new ones in the hoodie.
Everyone's seen them. No, well, not everyone's seen the Dateline.
All right, let's look at the Dateline hoodies that just came out. All right, there's one of them. Can you all see that? Are we blowed up big?
Yeah.
Blowed up big. All right. There's one of see what I'm talking about? It's all pixelated and weird. I remember when I had a bad phone, these are what my pictures always turned out like.
Yeah, mine too. Thank God. I look at Ace on them.
Now they
It's
say
like
that
he's reading something there. Like he's reading.
Yeah. They say that these pictures were taken after he watched that Ted Bundy show that had Bundy in a black hoodie. What a fucking creep. He's so gross. Ugh. All right. So there's that. And then I have one more thing. He does look high. I think he was always high. I can April says she can just see Maggie with her swab in hand. Open up, fella. Open up.
Yeah. You don't go out that door unless you give me your fingerprints and your cheek. Hurry up, open your mouth.
In fact, we'll just take blood while we're here.
Yeah, get a bit of blood as well. Should say that just before he goes out. Just tap him so your daughter or son doesn't hear him.
All right. We're going to play one more avocado toast. I like it. All right. Here, let's present this one. And this is the last one we have. And then we'll talk about this one and then just go over what you guys want to go over. But y'all, and Nancy Grace. I didn't pull up Nancy Grace this time, you guys, but close to it. I mean, she doesn't even come close to Nancy, but she's all right. All right, let's go. Y'all listen, be careful with your ears. This is Steve. She is interviewing once again Steve Goncalves, which is Kaylee's dad, after the Dateline has already premiered. So let's listen to this real quick.
Joined by Steve Gonsalves, father of Kaylee Gonsalves, who was one of the 4 kids murdered inside 1122 King Road. Steve, there's a lot of blockbuster revelations by NBC. One of the ones I found so upsetting was the allegation that these are pictures of University of Idaho girls on Brian Koberger's phone. Do you have any idea if Kaylee was among them?
I don't know. I find it very telling that there was other students that are supposed to be in their friend circles that are on that phone for sure.
And do you know anything more about what that mother, Angela Navejas, with the daughter Ashlyn, who was best friends with Maddie? Do you know anything more about that child's story? I mean, that girl's story. Ashlyn was supposed to spend the night there. It's just so upsetting to think What happened? Why didn't she?
I don't know the details on Ashlyn. I definitely know Ashlyn. I've met and hung out with her. We've done fundraisers together, and her mother. So, yeah, I know that she spent. She used to be a roommate there. So, I'm a little surprised at how that night, but I'm not surprised that she would be over there and hanging out with the girls at all.
Boy, have you had a chance to talk with her since the revelation that she was supposed to be there? And
That's gone off. Don't know whether she wanted that to go off.
I wanted it to go off, and I'm talking to myself once again, like I always do.
And I was just going to talk because I seen you saying that you've gone for coffee.
Yeah, so we're supposed to shut it off every now and then so we don't get, in trouble. But I don't know if you can turn it on or off. Can you, Mags?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so anyways, oh, Maggie, it's teaming outside.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it when you've said it's teaming.
It's teaming? Oh
you
my
have to
God.
tell everyone now what it means.
Okay, you tell everybody what it means. Hold on, let's finish
No, it
this up.
means.
Go ahead. No, go.
It means it's
teaming
down, raining, heavy, teaming.
It's teaming, y'all. All right, let's finish listening to this.
And wasn't and decided not to be?
No, and I just heard that she doesn't want to come back to Idaho, and now I've got a daughter who's going to Texas for college now, so I kind of understand how it feels for some of these side victims, that how they feel like they just don't feel safe and they want to just run, get out of the area. So her saying that is kind of rang true with our daughter.
The internet search is alleged to be, Ted Bundy and then non-consensual violent sex. You've said that this stands out because of reports before from the Reddit survey that Brian Koberger sent out, as a criminology student, asking other criminals about their methods. Talk to me more about that.
Yeah, we got a letter and it had a phone number in there, and we called this individual, and he said he had been interviewed by Brian. And he got the sense that Brian was getting off on his story. And his story was basically he'd listen to a police scanner, wait for somebody to call the police on a domestic violence type thing. And then the male would be arrested. And then he would go into those neighborhoods, and that would be the house that he would rob. So he said that Brian seemed to enjoy his story. And he said that he had he felt like he started enjoying certain aspects of his story, where he would talk about drunk females passed out, and he basically said, I could have done anything. I was just going for jewelry, going for money, going for whatever he was. But Brian would call him back repeatedly and want to know more details on that story.
It's all just so upsetting. And I know we're getting closer and closer to this trial where we will hear actual evidence as opposed to reports. Steve, thank you for that. I also want to let our audience, Steve, know that your family has to travel upwards of 8 hours to be at the trial of Brian Koberger, and it's expected to last for months. So, folks, a friend of the Gonzalez family has set up a GoFundMe to help them make that repeated travel. It's called Help Kaylee Gonzalez's Family Attend Trial. If you want to go there, there's the address for you. The name of the GoFundMe account is right there.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.
Talking to yourself, Lee.
Nope, I was just turning it off. I didn't talk to myself that time. Can you believe that Brian was asking that guy over and over again about that party? It's so sickening.
All the time.
Who does that?
That's what I mean. I know.
I mean, isn't one time good enough to get all
Obviously
the deets?
Not. Just to let you know, JB's gone for a lie down already, a migraine. So she's out to be and she'll see you all tomorrow.
All right. We love you, JB. Feel better, baby.
You,
Thank you for being in here.
I keep going to say good night. It's your afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's early evening now.
How is it? Hiya,
Yeah.
B.
Good to see everybody.
Been around.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
it's my
everybody, for
evening
coming
now.
in.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, everyone. Can't believe it was teamed by Lunch Lady as well.
Yeah, you hear it?
Now, let's have a listen. Hang on. Go on.
You don't hear it?
No.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm
That's
deaf
fine.
as a brush now. Hiya, Jeff. Well done. My
Hello,
timing
Jeff.
sucks.
No, I just think, listen, with every time something comes out, and I did check the Idaho person of people of suspect or whatever page, the judicial page, and the only thing that was brought up was they sealed another document that has to do with the mitigation phase. That's all that I've seen so far that's been brought out, but I was blown away by
What do you
the
think, Jeff, about the Dateline?
yeah. If Jeff wants to come up, have him come up and give us a synopsis.
What do you think, Jeff? Do you want to come up? Let me know. I'll get the link. Hold on.
Oh,
'Cause
don't
I'm the co-host. Gotta get the link.
the co-host.
Hang on. Oh, the co-host posts this. There you go, Jeff.
And y'all, I'm going to say that you
Oh,
know,
he's
there's
driving.
okay, Jeff, that's okay. I'm going
I'll
to
take
say
that off.
that there's only been this many selfies released. Y'all, come on. It was 5 weeks since the murder. Okay. 5 weeks until he was arrested. Y'all, there has to be more pictures. There has to be. I'm curious as to what other pictures we're going to see. I'm also curious as to, hold on, I got a cough.
Oh, I'm all tangled up with me wool everywhere. Oh God.
You're all tangled up with what?
Me wool. I'm me yarn. I'm making a poncho and I'm doing the neck. And I pulled the
Oh,
last row out and I've knotted it everywhere. Don't worry, it's okay. Go on.
you doing your neck.
I'm doing the neck, yeah, the neck on the poncho. I'm making it a rolled neck.
Well, anyways, I am also curious. So I'm curious to see about the pictures because I think there's more.
Like what pictures? What type of pictures?
Like more selfies. Maybe he was at the house for 9 minutes before the police came.
Do you think that he's got a selfie with blood on him?
I don't think there was enough time for him to take pictures, but not inside the house. But I wonder if he took pictures outside the house.
In the shower. When he removed that shower.
Yeah.
Maybe it was splattered.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I don't understand the whole blood trail thing. I've got many crime things where there is no blood that's transferred out of different rooms and such. And I need to really watch a couple of them to figure out just how it's done. But here's the other thing that I came up with. I forgot to tell you guys. Do you guys remember when I showed you Xana's room and you could look from the stairway, like down into her room?
Yeah.
Doors open. Well, if you're looking down at Xana's room, so right next to it on the left-hand side is going to be her closet, remember? And then it's a wall. And all it says in the motion is that DM saw her feet the feet were out and her head was towards the wall. Remember when she said that? I wonder, because in my mind of thinking it was like the bottom, you could see the bottom of her feet from the stairway, and then her head was up against. What if she's laying sideways where you can't see her whole body. You see maybe her knees down and know that she's facing towards the wall. Because we don't know which wall that they're talking about that they saw her head. Do you know what I'm talking about, Maggie?
Yeah,
Let me
I'm
pull
trying
it
to
up
work
real
it out.
quick.
Let me see the picture, yeah.
Let me pull up a
For
picture
it
of
to have
that.
seen it from the outside. Let's have a look.
Let me see.
Have you got a picture on the landing of where she is?
Well, it doesn't tell us exactly where she's at, but
No, but I mean, you know, picture of that floor. So
well, so the floor we know is wooden.
Dylan Mortensen was she on the same? Oh God, no, hang
Yes,
on. Yeah, she
Dylan
was on the
Morton.
same floor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And their floor was that wooden. I don't think it's real
So
wood.
when she came out of her room, was Santa's room straight ahead or to the left?
You had to step up. You know, it's that 4 inches step up into the living common area, and then she would have to walk towards the staircase. Okay, hold on. Let me bring up. Hold on.
So her room was like around by the common room. It was round the corner at the back of it.
Hold on. It's just easier for me to do it this way.
Okay, as you come through the door downstairs, front door at the back. That should be the front. Oh.
All right. I think this will do it because I can. Okay, let me pull this up and then I can just stop it whenever I need to show you. Share screen. All right, this is going to be a virtual tour, so I'll just stop it when we need to talk about it. That's as big as I can make it, guys. Sorry. Okay. So this is starting off at the third floor where Kaylee and Maddie are found.
Where Kaylee and Maddie were found. This is Kaylee's room, and this is where Murphy the dog was found with the door open. Here's the restroom and Maddie's room. She was in there with Kaylee, and it is right above Dylan's room. Again, this is the 3rd floor. Now, when
Okay, so you remember this step right here? This is 4 inches. Right over here is the kitchen's back over here. Dylan's room's right there. You have to step up 4 inches. Over here was their couch and their TV, and then down here is Xana's room.
When you come down, this is Dylan's room. This is where the intruder supposedly walked past and went out the double doors out the kitchen. Again, these stairs lead up to Kaylee and Maddie's room. Now, these are the stairs that go down to the front door.
All right, let me stop it right here because this is what I want to show you. So supposedly this is what Dylan saw. She was running from this way. If you guys could see my cursor, she was running from the kitchen this way over to the stairs so she could go downstairs. So she looked down here. This door swings inside the room like that. On this wall over here is her closet. This is her closet right here. So you've got this part of the room, her bed over here, her closet over here. On that wall over there, she had a vanity mirror, whatever, a chair. So I was wondering when I first heard Dylan say that when she was running from this way down to the stairs and looked, she could see Xana's feet I was thinking her feet pointed this way and her head up against this wall. Now I'm wondering, did she just see her feet right here, but she's laying this way?
Yeah, the
So
other way.
you can only see maybe from her knees down, looking down the hallway, just her knees, her feet. That's it. So
But how would she said she had her head to the wall though.
She said that she had her head up,
So she's
feet
to the
facing and
wall
her.
and her
Uh-huh.
head to the wall. So she obviously seen it. She didn't say just her feet, did she? She said she had a face. Is she seen? She said she had a face to the wall or a head to the wall. So she must have seen more of it than just her feet.
I don't know though. Remember, she's not the one writing this. It's kind of like in the PCA
But
where
it's
it
been
says,
repeated, hasn't it? It's because some of the mistakes she made, the inconsistencies was noted.
right, but listen to what I'm saying. So in the PCA, it says that she saw a man clad in black. Nobody uses the word clad. That's just the word that the officer used to put in the PCA. Just means that he was wearing all black.
Yeah, I
all
say
right.
clad in black. Yeah.
I've never used the word clad. So when they say her head was towards the wall and her feet were out, it still could have meant this way, though.
There's what Jeff says.
What did Jeff say?
It's too bad they couldn't be a little bit more precise with some of their wording. All they would have had to say was Santa's head towards the north wall, and we'd know what they were talking
Right.
about. Yeah, but I
It,
don't know.
it
I
says,
think she's
well,
seen it.
hold on. Let me see if I could find that again. Maggie, I'll let you talk and chat just a minute. Let me bring up the,
Though Lizzo said she said she was feet in the doorway and head towards the wall, face down. Yeah, she did say that, Lizzo. She did. Head feet was in the doorway and a head towards the wall, face down. So could she be on an angle? Could she be on an angle where she can see her feet coming out by the door there and sort of her head to that wall facing? Do you get what I'm saying? So she was on an angle for her to think, oh yeah, she's there. She looked like she's out of it. I think because I do think she's seen more than a feet. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe that door was a little bit more open. Her legs were sort of coming out by the door, and her head was towards that wall facing. Because that wall could look like it's near on the picture, and it could be further back. Was she running back to the room and he caught it in the hall? Well, I've thought that as well. I thought that, because of the way she was found, was she in the kitchen when she's heard something and gone up, and that's when he's run after her and grabbed her, and she's, did he drag her back into the room? Who knows? We can also say for hours, can't we, given what we think, but I'm dying to know.
But if they dragged her back to the room, then there's blood flow. There's blood movement.
Well, why would the baby hasn't done anything to her yet?
Well, he just got done killing two people.
Yeah, but like you say, that them people that were killed in that room and there was no blood outside. So maybe she's only tiny to him. Maybe he just got her in a headlock or whatever, and she was beating at him, and he's dragged her back to that room, and that was the noise on the stairs. I don't know. Because she said she heard noise on the stairs and she thought it was Kaylee with the dog. Playing with the dog. I mean, there could be a million things. You just don't know. Maybe she's
Okay,
heard him gone up and run to go in the room. Maybe she's gone to shut the door, whatever, and he's just done it there and then.
So it does say, as Mortensen ran toward Funk's room, she allegedly saw Carnota lying on the floor of the bedroom with her head toward the wall and her feet toward the door. So
Yeah.
that would mean that, okay.
So could she be on an angle? And it's that wall basin, which I've just said, could look close, but could be further away.
Well, I do think that it's angled, but I think it's angled towards going towards the bed. And that's why the blood is on that side of the house.
Maybe she falls in the hall, and where she is laid is where she fell. Yeah. Jeff says, when you guys listen to the 417 audio from the light bulb camera, do you also hear 4 evenly spaced thuds? I can't say I have, but I wouldn't mind listening again to see.
I can pull it up.
Would
let
that
me,
be it? Could they be hitting their heads against the wall? And that's why they took the wall? Bit of the wall? Was he bashing her head against the wall?
my problem, I don't know if you guys have listened to that, but I can hear clearly the dog barking. Not clearly,
Yeah,
but
I can hear that.
but I'm struggling with the other sounds. Let me see if I can bring it up. Maggie, you've heard it. Are you struggling with the sounds?
Yeah, I am too. I don't know whether it's because people are saying you can hear shouting and thuds. I don't hear a thud. I can hear something, but I can't make out what's going on or what it is. But I hear the dog.
Let's look up and see what this shows.
Yes, Leanie, play the audio, please.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
because now
do that
you're
real
telling
quick.
me to listen for something, let's see if I can hear it. I always mean to do these things and I never get round to doing it. Does anyone think that Kaylee was in the kitchen when he'd gone upstairs and shared noises? Or do you think she was in the bathroom? I don't think she was in the room. I don't know why.
Are we talking Kaylee or Xana?
Not Kaylee, sorry, Xana.
No, I don't think Xana was in the room. I think she was in the kitchen. I don't think she ever
Yeah,
went
I think
upstairs.
she was in the kitchen. I think she was eating the DoorDash. She had the DoorDash, wouldn't she? Jeff says, I have a feeling the other sounds were much quieter than the dog barking, so they had to really crank the volume on them. Yeah, because where that camera that picked it up, Jeff, was situated was the other side of the house that was by them. So, but wasn't it I'm trying to get this in my mind now. The camera on I'm picturing it completely different. When you're standing outside the house and you look across to where them people were on the like the decking area outside talking to the police, there was a camera there on the wall, wasn't there? Is that the one that caught it? Because when you were showing me before, Leanie, that looked like it was on the other side of the house.
I'll show you it right now. Hold on.
Because I know that had taken as well, exactly the same. So I'm just thinking, hang on, how could you see? You couldn't see that part of the house from the 1112 house, the murder house. You couldn't see that part from there.
All right. So, do you see what's on the screen? I can't make it any bigger, I don't think.
No.
You can't see what's on the
I can see
screen?
it, but it's very, yeah, I can. It's very small. Okay, let me
Okay,
see that
so
circle there.
okay, so
Okay,
what it
try and
is
make that
right
big.
here is where their porch light would be, right? Instead of a porch light being in the circle, it was actually a cam. You could screw them into the light socket there.
Was this up the stairs, or are we talking to the right?
No,
Because I can't
this
see your
this
cursor.
over
Oh, yeah, I know.
this over here is the King Road house.
Yeah.
Okay. This house right here is
yeah.
what caught all of the sounds and
That's what
the
I mean.
car
It
going
was on
back
the
and forth.
opposite sides. So,
Mhm.
but there's one on the other side, isn't there? Isn't there a camera on the other
There's
side?
another
By the door?
camera. No, not on this one.
Isn't it?
I think it's
It's
back
this
here
one
somewhere, down the hill a little bit more.
or this one to the right here.
This one,
Is it on theirs?
I don't think
If
it's on theirs. I had heard that the one next to that, that's over there closer to being
Yeah.
able to see the back door, that there was one that it wasn't working, which would have been perfect because
So
you would have seen Brian Koberger coming in and out.
yeah. So where's Santa's room? Looking at this now.
So if you look
Whereabouts?
at this right here is Xana's room.
Right. Okay.
All right, let's listen to it. You guys have to monitor your own
Well, I'm gonna
sound.
make sure I've got these ears. Go on.
All right, here we go.
Picked up sounds, including what police described in charging papers as distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. Here are those sounds. A dog began to bark, as if something was wrong. The security camera on that neighboring house picked up.
Let me stop it right there just a second.
So yeah. So it did hear a thud there, and it did hear like a screaming, shouting, whatever.
Yeah, it does.
But the dog sounded like outside to me. It sounded like the bark was outside. I know the dog was in the room, but that's what it sounded like to me.
So do you think that Murphy's door was still open in Kaylee's room? And whenever he opened the side door to come in the house, did the dog come running downstairs? And
Was
it
the
just went
dog
out,
it
and
locked
then
in the room? Did she have a French window where she could walk out? Was it a one? No, it wasn't, was it?
yeah, hers this
Well, maybe
one
that
up
door was
here.
open a bit, and
Yeah,
that's how the dog.
and maybe the dog was out there. I don't know. Now
Yeah,
my dogs would hightail it out here because they're nosy.
yeah.
But if
So
it
maybe she had
wasn't
that door
open,
open a bit.
but if it wasn't open, just say her room, she left the door open for Murphy.
Mind you, it was
And
cold, wasn't it?
and when if Murphy's anything like my dogs, you could pull up to close to my driveway and they know
Yeah,
somebody is around the house and they'll start.
yeah.
So did Murphy come running downstairs? I mean, Murphy's used to people. So it's not like, well, I don't know. Newt will bark at
No,
everybody
because he would
except
have
for
had
me.
would he be about? Oh, I don't know.
Not yet. Not if when he's coming in the room, I mean in the house, and Murphy just comes downstairs, runs out the back door, and he
Oh,
goes
yeah, I
in
get. Yeah,
and
I know what
kills
you mean.
Maddie, and Kaylee then shuts that door. Then we hear Murphy barking and whatever, and when he leaves, Murphy runs back in the house and runs up to Kaylee's room.
Mm. Because that bark definitely. Did it sound like it was outside to you?
It just is loud. It's so damn loud. But
So
the thunk
Jeff
is loud.
said.
Everything's loud.
Jeff
How
says
the
in the
hell is it
photos
that
of
loud?
Kaylee's room, where can you see the pillows on her bed? Can you tell if the sliding glass door is open or closed? Jeff,
Well,
that's what I mean.
yeah, but the deal is the one where you can see Kaylee's room with the pillows on the bed, the door would already be closed because it was freezing.
Yeah, it was
So they would
cold.
have closed the door while they're doing all that. I mean, that picture was taken after the police had already been there. Let's listen to it again.
Up sounds, including what police described in charging papers as distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. Here are those sounds. A dog began to bark,
Definitely
as
outside.
if something was wrong. The security camera on that neighboring house picked up sounds, including what police described in charging papers as distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. Here are those sounds. A dog began to bark.
Oh,
as if something was wrong.
Hold on, you guys. Wait a second. Look at the timestamp. The timestamp is 4:17. If we're
That was
hearing
the
those,
time he was driving away. At 4:17, that's when he went round that corner.
really? Did I miss
Yeah,
that? No, I thought it was
on
at
the
4:20.
on the Dateline, that's what it says at 4:17. He was seen. Am I wrong, Jeff? Do you remember?
I thought it was at 4:20 that he's seen driving around.
I
Because
thought it
this
was
has to be
4:17.
this is the when they're doing this. Because look, if this is when it's picking up the sound, if this is the true sound
It
stuff,
must be right.
then I could see Murphy being outside still if he had let him out when he come into the house. I could see Murphy being outside and barking to get back in the house.
In the house.
Yes. And
Mm.
then the thud and the crap that you're hearing is going on in Xana's room. And as soon as he's done with that, he's out.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
Murphy
Jeff
gets
said
let
it was
back in the house.
4:20. I got it wrong. Well,
All
I know
right.
he was wrong, so I'm not surprised.
So let's try to watch the time, thinking, okay, Murphy's outside the house. We know around this time he's probably with Xana and Ethan. Okay, Murphy's outside the house barking. This is exactly 2 minutes practically until he is seen getting the hell out of there. So,
So
yeah,
let's see how the
let's
sound as if it's inside
Well,
and then the dog out.
the security camera on that neighboring
hold on, I want to see. Okay. So, all right, let's see.
house picked up sounds, including what police described in charging papers as
4:17:22.
distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. Here are those sounds. A dog began to bark, as if something was wrong. The security camera on that neighboring house picked up
All right.
sounds.
What do you guys think?
Still think the dog's
including
outside.
what police described in
I mean,
They sounded like, I mean, it was loud considering. Or is that because it's been made to be loud? But the dog definitely
well, it
sounds like
says
it's
it
outside.
says it's enhanced. It does say
Mm.
it's enhanced. So they have pulled sound forward.
Well, listen,
So
I've always thought that Kaylee had locked the dog in the bedroom, gone in there to talk to Maddie, ended up falling asleep. That's what I've always presumed. But by listening to that properly now, that dog sounds like it's outside. So could it have been on the, because it was cold. So did she just think she was going into Maddie's room for a minute and put him outside on the the decking
oh
outside?
yeah, now she could have maybe did she put him out just to use the
She
bathroom thinking she was
she
going
could
back up?
yeah, she might have thought I'm only going in for a minute. I'll let him outside and then I'll bring him in a minute. But obviously, so that's why the dog's barking outside. Or would it have carried on? But mind you, it was over in a matter of minutes, wasn't it? So it wasn't out there long. She's obviously put him out there. Mind you, how long she been in there? She fell asleep. So say he's been out there half an hour. Would he be barking by half an hour, going mad to get in? Because it definitely sounded like it was outside.
Lou says, is the thud BK getting in his car and slamming the door? Is that a dog chasing and barking as BK as he fled? Well, where I think he parked at and took off from, I think we would have eventually seen Murphy on video. Jeff says, and if anyone tries to tell you it looks like they sped up the video of him speeding away, the clock ticks at the exact right speed you would expect. That is correct. Yes, that is correct. Hold on just a minute. I want to let me see that. I forget so much. I've got so much in my head about this case.
Do you think, Lizzo, that the dog sounds like it's outside? Because I'm starting to think, did she put him out there while she went into Maddie's room, thinking she wasn't going to be long? I mean, not
All
that
right.
it's important or anything. It's just wondering.
I do remember seeing some of the neighbors saying that they have seen Murphy outside by himself before.
Oh, right. Okay. So was it what is it called? Is it the PCA, do you say? Was it in there that he was in the bedroom? Where
Yeah,
did it come out? Oh, okay.
he was told he's in the bedroom. Let's see.
Maybe he was told he was in the bedroom. Was someone had put him in there then? Mind you, if they'd have done that, they would have seen.
Yeah,
No,
I
it
don't
wasn't
think
in there.
I don't think it says anywhere that that he was locked in the bedroom.
Mm,
But let's just see. Um
yeah, Barbara.
hold on, I'm getting the documents.
Did they say the dog is definitely Murphy? Is it another neighbour's dog? No, I think they said it was Murphy, Lou.
No,
Oh my God, I thought that was the dog.
that is a dog. It's a new. I'm
No,
just
but
kidding. I know. Um all right, let me find. I've got the
are you
affidavit.
going
Let
to
me
show
find
Newt
the.
outside and let him bark and record it?
I think Beefcake just came home, so I told you he barks at everybody
Yeah.
except for his mama. Let me find where they talk about the dog in the PCA. Give me just a second.
I'll read it if you want me to, Lee.
Okay.
And Barbara said the house is really cheaply made.
Yes.
Might not have good insulation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed of some of the stuff that I watched with it being torn down. There's not insulation everywhere. It was very cheaply done. Sorry, guys. He'll come down says he sees Beefcake. All right, hold on. I'm getting there.
Yeah, April says it sounds like the dog was outside for sure. Just totally different, isn't it? The sounds. April says it sounded like terrified screams. I can honestly say, can't make out what it is. It's obviously people shouting, isn't it? Like in some, I just don't know if I can hear a scream. But it didn't hear 4 thuds, Jeff. Just the one on the end before the dog barked. Used to say he didn't let the dog out, mind you. Wouldn't DM see the dog going out when she seen him leaving.
Or come back in. But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, you guys. We don't have all of DM's testimony. I'm telling
No,
you
no, you
right
can
now.
tell. Jessie School, that's Sam I am. That's Sam I am is a green Elantra in that cam. Okay, Jessie.
I'm trying to find where am I at the PCA?
I don't know, girl. I can't see a thing.
I'm trying to. Give me just a second, guys. Sorry.
How old was Murphy? He was
I
only a
don't
puppy,
remember that.
wasn't he? Anyone know?
Okay. I got it. I think I got it. All right, Maggie.
Go on.
Here we go. Let me put it up here. And then I'll let Mags read it for us. I think we could get rid of the barking one, right? Hi, Jesse. Thank you for coming here. Appreciate you. Can you hit the like for me? That's all I ask. All right, let's remove this. Let's put this up here, Mags. Boop, boop, be-doop. All right, can we see that big?
Can't see anything at all.
It's not on the screen yet. Okay.
Oh,
Here we go. All right.
okay.
Is that big enough? I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if I can make it any
No, it's
bigger.
fine.
All right, this is from the affidavit, you guys. This is just the police officer walking and saying Brett Payne walking and seeing what he observes. Okay. All right,
The
go
below
ahead.
information is provided by Brett Payne, who is a duty appointed, qualified, and acting peace officer within the county of how do I say that?
Later.
Later, state of Idaho. Brett Payne is employed by Moscow Police Department in the official capacity of position of Corporal CPL and has been trained and qualified peace officer for approximately 4 years. CPL Payne is being assisted by members of the Idaho State Police and agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. On November 13th, 2022, at approximately 4 p.m., Moscow Police Department, Sergeant Blaker and I responded to 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, hereafter the King Road residence, to assist with the scene security of processing of a crime scene associated with 4 homicides. Upon arrival, the Idaho State Police forensic team was on the scene and was preparing to begin processing the scene. Smith, one of the initial responding officers to the incident, advised he would walk me through the scene. OFC Smith and I entered the King Road residence through the bottom floor door on the north side of the building. OFC Smith and I then walked upstairs to the second floor. OFC Smith directed me down the hallway to the west bedroom on the second floor, which I later learned his driver license and other personal belongings found in the room was Anna Canoodle's, hereafter Canoodle's room. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body, later identified as Canoodle's, laying on the floor. Canoodle was deceased with wounds which appeared to have been caused by an edged weapon.
Sorry. I'm just getting my
Okay.
ice.
Also in the room was a male, later identified as Ethan Chapin, hereafter Chapin. Chapin, who was also deceased with wounds later determined, autopsy report.
Bunch of redacted that we're starting to be able to add in.
I then followed OFC Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Goncalves' room. I later learned from review of Officer Noon's body camera there was a dog in the room when Moscow police officers initially responded.
Okay,
So
let's
there was
stop
a
right.
dog in the room when they initially responded.
Right. So it was already out by then. And the only reason he knew that is because he had to
Yeah.
look at Noon's body camera.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The dog belonged to Goncalves and her ex-boyfriend, Jack Ducor. I found out from my interview with Jack Ducor on November 13th, 2022, that he and Goncalves shared the dog. OFC Smith then pointed out a small bedroom on the east side of the third floor. This bedroom shared a wall with Madison Morgan's, hereafter Morgan's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. As I entered the bedroom, I could see 2 females in the single bed in the room. Both Goncalves and Morgan were deceased with visible stab wounds. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Morgan's right side when viewed from the door. The sheath was later processed and had K-Bar USMC and the United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA suspect profile left on the button snap of the knife sheath. As part of the investigation, numerous interviews were conducted by Moscow Police Department officers, Idaho State Police detectives, and FBI agents. 2 of the interviews included BF and DM. Both BF and DM were inside the King Road residence at the time of the homicides and were roommates to the victims. BF's bedroom was located on the east side of the first floor of the King Road residence.
Do you
Based,
go ahead?
Do you want me to carry on?
Yeah, we'll just go all the way down until they start identifying. I think it's only 2 more pages.
Okay.
But it's amazing so far what we already know about, how much they really did keep out of this, which is legal. Go ahead.
Based on numerous interviews conducted by MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents, as well as my review of evidence, I have learned the following. On the evening of November 12, 2022, Chapin and Canoodle are seen by BF at the Signature House on the University of Idaho campus at 735 Nez Perce Drive from approximately 9 p.m. on November 12th to 1:45 a.m. on November 13th. BF also estimated that approximately 1:45 a.m. Chapin and Canoodle returned to the King Road residence. BF also stated that Chapin did not live in the King Road residence, but he was a guest of Canoodle. Goncalves and Morgan were at a local bar, the Corner Club, at 202 North Main Street in Moscow. Goncalves and Morgan can be seen on video footage provided by the Corner Club between 10 p.m. on November 12th and 1:30 a.m. on November 13th at approximately 1:30 a.m. Goncalves and Morgan can be seen on video at a local food vendor called the Grub Truck at 318 South Main Street in downtown Moscow. The Grub Truck live streams videos from their food truck on the streaming platform Twitch, which is available for public viewing on their website. This video was captured by law enforcement. A private party reported to be provided to Goncalves and Mogan at approximately 1:56 a.m. from downtown Moscow in front of the Gubtuk to the King Rose residence. DM and BF both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of King Rose residence were at home by 2 a.m. and asleep or at least in their rooms by approximately 4 a.m. This is the exception of Canoodle, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m. Law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. So she must have been downstairs, mustn't she? Or she just been maybe she carried it up and seen that Ethan was dead, and that's when he did that. But
I don't.
the bag was downstairs in the kitchen, wasn't it? We seen that on the photos. Or was that an old one?
That's okay. So Xana's room is on the same floor as the kitchen. So she would have.
Yeah.
So some have, we don't know. Some have said that the DoorDash driver actually came to the kitchen slider that Koberger said to come in and out of, and some said that he actually came to the front door.
Yeah. So TM stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the second floor. DM stated she was woken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Goncalves playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the third floor. A short time later, DM said she heard what she thought was Goncalves saying something to the effect of "There's someone here." A review of records obtained from a forensic download of Canoodle's phone showed this could also have been Canoodle, and a cellular phone indicated she was likely awake and using the TikTok app at approximately 4:12 a.m. DM stated she looked out of her bedroom but didn't see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. DM stated she opened her door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Canoodle's room. DM then said she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." At approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera located at 1112 King Road, a residence immediately to the northeast of 1122 King Road, picked up distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times, starting at 4:17. The security camera is less than 50 feet from the west wall of Canoodle's bedroom. DM stated she opened her door for the third time after she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. DM locked herself in her bedroom. After seeing the male, DM did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. The combination of DM's statements to law enforcement, review of forensic downloads of records, BF and DM's phone, and video of suspect video described below leads let me read that again. The combination of DM's statements to the law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of records from BF and DM's phone, and video of a suspect's video of a suspect video as described below leads investigators to believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. Well, that's not right, is it now? We know because of that he's going round the corner like a lunatic at 4:20. During the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the second processing of the crime scene by the ISP forensic team by first using a presumptive blood test and then amino black, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detective shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern on a Vans type shoe just outside the door of DM's bedroom, located on the second floor. This is consistent with DM's statement regarding the suspect's path of travel. So do you think it was his then? As part of the investigation, an extensive search, commonly referred to in law enforcement as a video canvass, was conducted in the area of the King Road residence. This video canvass was to obtain any footage from the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, in the area of the King Road residence and surrounding neighbourhoods in an effort to locate the suspect or suspect's vehicles travelling to or leaving from the King Road residence. This video canvass resulted in the collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both residential and business addresses. I have reviewed numerous videos that were collected and have had conversations with other MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents that are similarly reviewing footage that was obtained. A review. Oh, gone off.
I think we could stop there, Mags, because now it's
Okay.
going to go through all the evidence of the car that's been
Okay.
seen. Lizzo says, Jeff, I could listen to Maggie's accent all day long. I know. It's so good.
Oh my God, Jeff, it's the one you can understand me. So it's in one of the docks that the DoorDash driver knocked and left the food on the doorstep. Okay. I
But
don't
which
know whether
doorstep?
I've ever seen that.
But which doorstep? I mean, I've heard it to me, it doesn't make no sense for a DoorDash driver to walk up the side of the house to the kitchen doorstep. That just makes no sense. Unless they're friends of Xana's or Ethan's, and she's like, look, dude, I don't feel
Unless
like
she
walking.
said, bring it round.
Right. I mean, she could have said, bring it around, or I just don't feel like walking them stairs, or,
Yeah.
you know, can you just bring it to the kitchen? So,
Mm.
yeah. I mean,
So she could be in the kitchen. She's walked towards the bedroom, seen him, he's grabbed her, or she's gone in, seen Ethan, she screams, there's been a bit of a scuffle, and he's
no,
entered her.
to me, it doesn't make any sense that when she got the DoorDash and she was in the kitchen with it, that he seen her and chased her back to her room, because we know that he went up to kill Maddie first. So he would have had to kill Ethan and Xana first and then gone upstairs. That's not what happened. So I think wherever she got the DoorDash from, he didn't see her with the DoorDash until he had already killed Maddie and Kaylee. And when he was coming downstairs, he either saw her in the kitchen or he saw her walking towards the
So
kitchen.
did you say then that you think that he killed Ethan and Xana first?
No. No,
sorry.
I'm saying that when he came in the front door, if he saw her like when he first came in with the food and stuff like that, that would have meant he had to have killed her and Ethan first. And I don't believe that happened, because if that had happened, then what Dylan said didn't happen, meaning him leaving the house after
So
he
it's
came from
Mattie's being
Santa's room.
coming out of Mattie's room.
Yes, I think after he came out of Maddie's room. The other thing I was wondering about the dog, I don't know this for sure, but I know Kaylee's mom said that that Murphy used to sleep with Kaylee and sometimes Maddie if they were sleeping together. But I'm wondering, the only other thing that makes sense is that it was crated. If Murphy was crated, and then whenever they found Maddie and Kaylee, that the police let the dog out, took him out. Because you could see remember that picture we all looked at, and Murphy was outside with Dylan.
Yeah.
So, but I'm telling you, what I'm learning so much through all of this is everything we think happened, probably 75% of it didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh, I just can't wait for this trial. I just can't wait. I just, you know, when you just want to hear how it happens, everything. You just want to hear everything, don't you?
I can't wait. And fall's going to go by fast this year, because, I mean, it's supposed to start August the 11th, go all the way into November. So, and that's with they're saying that's with the penalty phase as well. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to do it. It'll be good.
Yeah. So
Lulu
Jeff is
was here.
saying,
Hi, Lulu.
yeah, she was here before. Yeah. I'm still doing tests with my infrared camera, but it's pretty clear that paper reacts differently than metal on an infrared camera. And then says, but metal matchbox cars of various colours, including green, of course, don't go white. The white cars goes white for sure.
It's because people are saying out there now that it was not a white car, it was a lime green car. Oh, fuck off. Seriously.
She doesn't mean that. She just meant go away. She's just in a fuck off mood.
I'm in a fuck off mood. All right, Maggie. Well, I think we closed it all up. Everybody's like, fuck you, Lenny. We ain't listening no more. We're done.
They're all in the fuck off moods as well.
Yeah. So
everyone in the fuck off mood.
When chat stops, we chat.
Well,
We done.
I'm gonna fuck off now.
All right, I'm gonna fuck off right after you, Max. I love you so much.
Love you, Lee. See you, everyone. See you tomorrow for Q&As. Good night and God bless. Have a good day wherever you are, or a good night. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Max. Love you.
If you carved a symbol into Ethan's legs and that symbol was found in the searches, then he's done. He's done anyway, digital, but be interesting to know. Good night,
but
everyone.
maybe that'll make the pro burgers think you really did it. No, they'll figure it out. That was AI. Okay, can't believe shit anymore.
Good night.
Good night. Love you, Max. All right, guys. Once again, thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you haven't hit the like yet, please do so on your way out. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for showing up every time to Co-Burger Wednesdays. Barbara's in a fuck off mood too. Probably where we get it. Barbara's just spreading the love around here. Thank you to the mods for keeping this safe, clean, healthy, happy chat. We appreciate that so much. And to those that hang out in the bushes or take time to have a discussion with us. Without y'all, I don't have a channel, so I appreciate you for that. Maggie, you're my heart. You know that every day. And those that are members of this channel, thank you for paying the bills around here. I appreciate that. If you want to become a member to our channel, do that. Do that. Let's pay the bills so I don't have to pay it all. Love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Again, we'll be on tomorrow, same time, same place to go over some more Koberger stuff. Untrackable. So good to see you. It's been a minute. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all be good or be good at it. And if you can't be good at it, take pictures because you know it is said that Maggie and I need content. Bye.